What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again with another Manchester City live watch-along, where today we're going to be doing the live watch-along of Manchester City's home game against Nottingham Forest in the Premier League. Manchester City know that if today goes very well, we could be just 2 points behind Arsenal at the top of the Premier League, with a game in hand, and still to take on Arsenal at the Etihad Stadium. However, things start to go south for Manchester City today. We could find ourselves 8 points behind Arsenal at the top of the Premier League. So this is a very big, very important game for Manchester City. The home team today, of course, against Nottingham Forest, fighting relegation, currently find themselves in 17th place in the Premier League, just one spot above the relegation zone, trying to pick up points, battling and fighting hard. So this isn't going to be an easy game here for Manchester City today, taking on Vita Pereira's men. I'm hoping that Manchester City can turn up, put in a really good performance, score some goals, hopefully build on keeping a clean sheet in our last game against Leeds United away from home, another team fighting relegation down towards the bottom of the Premier League. Wasn't an easy game at the weekend at Ellen Road, but we managed to get the job done. We did keep a clean sheet, we did score a goal, and we'll be looking here to try and keep our run of form going. Unbeaten in 9, won 8 of our last 9 games. So Manchester City in really good form. We want to try and keep that going ahead of some really big important games, including Newcastle away at the weekend in the FA Cup 5th round. We've of course got our game against Real Madrid next midweek at the Bernabeu for the Champions League last 16 first leg. We've got West Ham away, another team fighting relegation. The team currently sat in 18th place in the Premier League, away from home in the Premier League. We've also got then our return match for the Champions League last 16 second leg against Real Madrid at the Etihad Stadium in the midweek after that. And then just before we hit the international break, we have a game against Arsenal in the League Cup final, the first major piece of silverware on offer of the season in England, and it's Man City and Arsenal, the teams occupying first and second place in the Premier League currently, locking horns to see if they can try and gain a trophy and also potentially an advantage in the Premier League from a psychological perspective. So, big game this one. We've got to win it. See if we can get a favour today from Brighton, who Arsenal play, of course. That game also taking place at the same time as this game. So, hopefully we can see some points being dropped for Arsenal today, and Brighton can do us a favour. If that does happen and Man City can win here, then, of course, that gap at the top does get closed down. So, hopefully, we can make that one happen. So before I do speak about the teams and the build up to today's game, do make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then do subscribe to my channel. It's free to subscribe. Going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest City content here on YouTube. So if you haven't done so already, do subscribe to my channel. It is free. Social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the live chat. Where are you guys tuning in from today? What are your score predictions as well? That'd be much appreciated. And do leave a thumbs up. We know the aim, 100 likes. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Already making a good start. 29 likes. We're just 21 likes away from 50. We could even hit 50 before we have kickoff for today's game. So we will see what does happen. So as I said, don't forget, do leave a thumbs up. So warm welcome to Everell. Thank you for tuning in. Much appreciated. Do hope you are well, my friend. Retro, welcome. Thanks for tuning in once more. Good evening to you as well. Mick, welcome. Says just dropping in to give you a thumbs up. Much appreciated. Thank you, Mick. Says Leeds fan, you was respectful to us and continued to do so. Pleasure listening last week. Good luck for tonight. See you for the next game. Mick, thank you very much for your kind comment there. It was an enjoyable game of football. Leeds United pushed Man City all the way, of course, at the weekend. Man City managed to keep a clean sheet, managed to score a goal, and City managed to do enough in the end to pick up 3 points. Leeds United's game plan was always to keep it competitive and stay in the game, and if you get something to stick, all of a sudden, you end up picking up points that are very crucial towards the business end of the season in trying to stay up, and it wasn't an easy 3 points for Manchester City by any stretch of the imagination. It's taken Man City to put in a nitty-gritty performance that's capable of winning that game. And at this stage of the season, from the City perspective, it's just about doing what you need to do to win your games. It's not about performance anymore. It's about picking up the 3 points. And same here with this game against Nottingham Forest. I don't really care on how we perform. I care about us picking up the 3 points. And if we can pick up the 3 points today, then we face a situation where 9 games to go in the Premier League. It's 9 wins to go to win at the Premier League as well. John Welcome, thanks for tuning in, says doesn't like the midfield, could be a long game. We'll speak about the teams in just 1 minute, but obviously Nico O'Reilly not fit to be in the squad today. I always think is a bit of a blow to Manchester City's midfield, because I just think our midfield looks more complete and looks sharper and better with O'Reilly in it. Unfortunately picked up a knock in his last game, not fit enough to make the squad for this game. Probably not going to get risked for the game against Newcastle in starting, but hopefully he'll be fit enough to get over his knock that he will make the matchday squad at least, and it puts him in contention to potentially be featuring or starting for our big Champions League game in a week's time. Jean, welcome, thank you for tuning in, says I hope for a City win. That's his birthday wish. Big happy birthday to you, Jean. Is it your birthday today, or are you just celebrating early, or is it a late birthday that you're celebrating? But yeah, I hope you've had a fantastic day, and a big happy birthday to you. Corey, going with a nice positive 4-0 win today for Manchester City. I'll take a nice positive 4-0 win today. Brian says, JSGC, have you noticed our new approach? We defend normally in the second half. We're not aggressive for the full 90 minutes. Yeah, it's been happening since probably January time, when we've been suffering with a bit of fatigue, and Man City maybe not being as aggressive into the second half. There's a whole manner of reasons for that. I firmly believe that normally Man City are ahead by half-time. Teams are chasing the game, so they're having to change their approach. And as they're changing their approach, Manchester City are just starting to drop a bit deeper and trying to improve defensively. And I think defensively over the last few weeks, I think Man City have been more or less pretty solid. Since we brought Marc Guehi in, I think we've been pretty solid. I think it's a blow that Abdukodir Khusanov, I don't think he's done anything wrong, isn't getting enough minutes. But obviously with the return of Ruben Dias at the back, it's going to happen. But I believe in Man City's defence, and as we showcased at the weekend, if we score a goal, we are capable of keeping a clean sheet and getting the job done. And at this stage of the season, sometimes you don't have to be scoring 4, 5, 6 goals every single game. It's a case of just picking up a goal, seeing the win out and getting the 3 points. And at this minute in time, we're capable of doing that, which is always a good thing to have in our arsenal. Get the pun. Jessica, welcome. Good evening to you. Do hope you're well. Going with a 3-2 Manchester City win. Reckons Morgan, Gibbs-White and Elliot Anderson scoring for Nottingham Forest before signing those contracts on the way out. I like that. I like that. Not too sure we'll bring both, but I imagine City will be targeting at least one of them players that you've just named there. Dave, welcome. Do hope you're well. Says, I don't think City are in good form, but they just keep on winning. Which, for me, is good form. We're not playing particularly well. We don't need to play particularly well. We're just doing enough to pick up the wins. And that's, at this stage, what we need to do. Going with a 2-0 Man City win. And I'll take a 2-0 Man City win as well. Everell, welcome. Thank you for tuning in as well. Jeremy Odoku is back for Manchester City on the bench today for City as well. Jean, it's your birthday today, so a big happy birthday to you. Hopefully Man City don't spoil your birthday. You have plenty to celebrate, and they do pick up the win as well. NH, thank you for tuning in. Khusanov, he's done nothing wrong. It's difficult. Ruben Dias is Ruben Dias, so he's always going to get their minutes. He's always going to start. But I just feel like we could find more ways for Abdukodir Khusanov when we've got a fully fit defensive line to find minutes. I mean, we faced a bit of a selection headache. What do we do from next season when we've got Josko Gvardiol fit? Because you've got Ruben Dias, you've got Josko Gvardiol. You're going to presume they're going to be Man City's 2 starting centre backs. How are you going to work Marc Guehi in? Are we going to change the shape to suit and get Marc Guehi into the team? Because he's not signed for Man City and he's on £300,000 a week to sit on the bench and be a squad player. He wants to be starting. So how are we going to work that? Yeah, we could alternate. Yeah, we're going to need to rotate. Yeah, all these players aren't going to be starting 50 to 60 games in a season. But when it comes to the, let's say a match against Real Madrid in the last 16 of the Champions League, you got a fully fit squad. You want to be a player that's starting that game. And if you're not a player that's starting that game with a fully fit squad, you know for a fact that you are not a first-team regular at Manchester City. And by the time it gets to the end of the season, it always seems to be the case. 1, 2, 3 players, they look at it and they go, well, actually, I'm not a first-team player, and I want to be a first-team player. So I want to leave. So that's just something that I think City need to maybe just think about going forward, because already seen it with Abdukodir Khusanov. He doesn't deserve to be dropped. He was brilliant when he's been helping Man City in their defensive crisis, and his reward for it has been he doesn't start anymore and he goes on the bench, which I think's absolutely mind-boggling. It's brutal. It really is. But that's football at the top end. When you sign the contract for Man City, you have to accept that. You've got to work hard to get into the team and take your opportunity. And if you're Abdukodir Khusanov or Marc Guehi or Josko Gvardiol, when you get given your opportunity, you've just got to grab it with both hands. And the next time another opportunity comes about, you just got to grab it again, because sometimes you can be perfect. You've done nothing wrong. You deserve them starts. It's just we don't have enough starts for everyone. So that's also why it's helpful to be versatile. Look at Nico O'Reilly. He was never going to walk into Man City's midfield. It was never going to happen. So he's had to make himself versatile. I'll play on the left. I'll play left back. I'll play left wing. It's not a problem. I'll work hard, and, eventually I'll be able to get to play in a more natural position to me. He gets into midfield. He's brilliant in midfield, and all of a sudden now, Nico O'Reilly's a massive loss for Man City not being available. So that's how you nail it down as far as I am concerned. I mean, Pep Guardiola has spoken about the squad before, about the squad's too big for him to keep everybody happy, and you're always going to end up with 2 or 3 players at the end of the season who wants to leave because they're just not going to be first-team regulars, and sometimes they've done nothing wrong. They're real good players. They're just not good enough to displace what Man City already have in their squad. And I'm glad that Amadou's mentioned Phil Foden. He starts today, but he's having the same problem. Phil Foden's a brilliant player on his day. He's got to be more consistent. And, if he wants to be start on a regular basis for Man City, then, he needs to turn up and really apply himself. So, yeah. They're my thoughts anyway. Right, we'll have a look at the teams then. We'll start off first with our opponents, Nottingham Forest, lining up 3 at the back, 3-4-2-1 from them today, lining up with goalkeeper Sells in goal ahead of Stefan Ortega. Ortega not quite fit enough to make the squad for Nottingham Forest today, otherwise he would have been starting this game. So it's Angus Gunn, former Man City man, on the bench for Nottingham Forest as their backup goalkeeper. A back 3 made up of Cunha, Milenkovic and Murillo. Aina on one side and Nico Williams on the other. It is Elliot Anderson starting alongside Sangare in midfield. Further ahead of them, you've got Morgan, Gibbs-White and Dominguez, and it's Igor Jesus starting up top. So Nottingham Forest here just kind of taking the width away from their wingers. Callum Hudson-Odoi you'd expect to have been starting this game. Amari Hutchinson scored for Nottingham Forest in the return match at the City Ground. They're both on the bench. I don't know if that's just down to rotation, and Nottingham Forest know they've got a big Europa League clash coming up against Midtjylland of Denmark through the next week's midweek games, and obviously the week after. Might just be a bit of rotation. They might just be trying something new. Maybe they're just trying to set up a bit more defensive, scared about how much time and space Man City are going to have. They've chosen to go 5 at the back rather than 4 at the back. I imagine Williams and Aina are going to be the players that get given a bit more freedom out wide to try and do the overlaps and see if they can get into them attacking wide positions to get balls into the box or direct drives into the box, and maybe even attempted an effort or 2 on goal is what Forest are going to be looking for. So on the bench for them, they have got Angus Gunn, Murato, Hudson-Odoi, Iwaniyi, Ndoye, Hutchinson, Yates, former City man James McAtee, and Nets. For Manchester City, lining up with a 4-1-3-2 formation, a formation that has become more familiar for Man City over the last 4 weeks or so. It's Gianluigi Donnarumma starting in goal. Back 4 made up of Matheus Nunes on the right, Rayan Ait-Nouri on the left, and Ruben Dias and Marc Guehi as Man City's 2 centre-backs. Rodri going as the lone defensive midfielder. Further ahead of him, you've got Bernardo Silva. 8 yellow cards for Bernardo Silva. Got to be careful about not picking up yellow cards, because if he does end up getting to the 10 mark before the cut-off date arrives, which I think's like the beginning of April, I think, then Bernardo Silva will be suspended for 2 games and potentially could miss Man City's important games against Chelsea away and Arsenal at home in the Premier League. So I thought Man City would have done more protection for Bernardo Silva, rotated him a little bit more, make sure he's in nice tip-top shape ahead of our match against Real Madrid, because you imagine Bernardo Silva was starting both of them games, so you'd want him nice, fit, fresh and ready. So it more than likely means that the cup game at the weekend against Newcastle, there's going to be a lot of rotation in place from Man City. Rayan Cherki also occupying in midfield alongside Phil Foden, and it's the two attackers today for Man City. Antoine Semenyo on one side, and it's Erling Haaland back in the squad and back in the starts for Manchester City, starting today's game. I suspect Haaland's probably going to get 45 minutes, potentially could get 60 to 65 minutes. I don't think Man City will want to risk any more from Erling Haaland, and I imagine Erling Haaland probably going to sit out Man City's game against Newcastle at the weekend. He might come off the bench maybe and get a few minutes. We'll have to wait and see. So on the bench for Man City, a very strong bench. Not as much rotation as I was expecting in place from City. What are we looking at? Just Phil Foden in for and Omar Marmoush out. So two players out and everybody else stays the same. Yeah, Marmoush out, Haaland in, and O'Reilly out and Phil Foden in. So a couple of players rotated. So if the two players rotated today, expect 7, 8, maybe even 9 players rotated for the game against Newcastle. So our squad's nice and fresh and everyone's had at least a few days off, ready for that game against Real Madrid, and expect more rotation for our game against West Ham away from home as well in the Premier League ahead of our return match against Real Madrid. So on the bench then for City, and I imagine a lot of these players that I do name will be starting for Man City in our game against Newcastle United at the weekend in the FA Cup 5th round. James Trafford, Tijjani Reijnders, John Stones, Nathan Ake, Omar Marmoush, Jeremy Doku, Nico Gonzalez, Semenyo and Abdukodir Khusanov. Man City's bench for today. A very strong bench and lots of players that could be relied upon should we need them. So for me, rather than focusing on everything that is to come, rotation and everything now, you know, we're looking at, 7 minutes to go until kick-off. It's important now the City players just knuckle down and focus on today's game, and hopefully we can pick up a big 3 points. Absolutely, Jessica, there's going to be a bus parked in this game is what's going to happen, but we will have to wait and see. I do reckon Haaland scoring today. I'm going 3-0 Man City, nice and positive. I'm going to go with Erling Haaland to score today. I've got a feeling Semenyo's going to make something happen, so I think I'm going to chuck in a Semenyo goal, maybe a brace from Semenyo. I fancy one of our midfielders, either Cherki or Foden, doing something. Going off the form that Foden's been in, which has been very hit and miss, I'd probably say if you wanted to have a little punt on on a player to score, I'd probably be more tempted to swing towards, if you're going for a midfielder, towards Rayan Cherki rather than Phil Foden going off the form. But hey, I might be wrong. Phil Foden, always worthwhile making something happen, and you know he needs to turn up good and make things happen ASAP if he wants to be in the England squad ahead of the World Cup, because Foden's form at the minute, does it warrant him a place in the England squad? I'd like to know your thoughts on that, guys. Anyone that's from England tuning in today, Foden, has he done enough to make the England squad? Let me know. John, welcome. Do hope you are well. Good evening to you. Geffin, thanks for tuning in. Going 3-0 Man City today. Going Foden, Cherki and Bernardo with the goals today. There you go. Interesting prediction, 3-0. I'm matching, going 3-0 Man City as well. I do have my poll in the chat as well. If you want to go and leave your votes about who you think's going to win. I've nearly 50 votes in now, which is brilliant. 91% of you guys thinking Man City winning today. 7% going with a Nottingham Forest win and 2% going with a draw for today's game, as we'll get a little light show going on at the Etihad Stadium ahead of tonight's game. I can't see the World Cup getting postponed. I can see clubs withdrawing, is what I can see happening. Either refused entry into North America, or they're simply just going to not allow teams to participate in the World Cup, which is going to cause quite a lot of problems with the ongoing politics of the world. So I don't know what's going to happen. It's less than 100 days to the World Cup. But I have always maintained to you guys that if there's countries out there who on really short notice, so let's say the USA can't host the World Cup. I say the US, the North America can't host the World Cup. You've got options. You could use Canada and Mexico as the two hosts instead and exclude the United States of America if they're concerned about the politics of the World Cup. Just for how big of a hitter the US are, I can't see that happening. So if they were to say the North America World Cup, including the United States, has to happen, but it can't happen this year, I imagine that they would be owed a World Cup, and the next available World Cup would be the 2038 World Cup, I believe, because the 2030 World Cup is going to Spain, Morocco, Portugal. I believe there's a few other countries that are going to be hosting a game or two as well from around the globe. And the 2034 World Cup, I think, is going to Saudi Arabia. So the next opening would be 2038. So if that's the case and the World Cup does need to happen and you need a country on short notice to be able to host a World Cup, which isn't easy to do, you've got ready-made countries. Germany, for example, hosted the European Championships in 2024. It was a success. They've got the stadiums, they've got the infrastructure. It could be done on short notice. England could host a World Cup, or the UK and Ireland, like we're seeing with the European Championships in 2028. Again, all the stadia is ready ahead of the European Championship, so they could host a World Cup. So if it can't be in North America, I think the World Cup should still go on, in my opinion. So there we go. Tito, you're right. You are right. There's so many hosts and things. Like, whatever happened to just single country hosts? I mean, I'm not being funny, but Qatar, it's the tiniest country ever. They managed to host a whole World Cup to themselves. And loads of people loved it because you could go to so many games. So if a small country doesn't need anybody else to participate, you don't need lots of countries from lots of different areas of the world to join in on a bid. It's all to do with winning votes and points. Football's become political. It's become a football business, all about making money. So it's become a political business as well, whilst we're at it, with all kinds of politics being chucked in. And to be honest, you just want to run it back to basics. And I feel like COVID demonstrated that really well in sports. All this business talk, all this money talk, all this politics and everything going on. Everybody preferred it when football fans could go to football and enjoy games. And football's just not the same with fans wherever you're watching in the world, whether that be in a field somewhere, or if you're watching a massive La Liga game, a Premier League game, a Champions League game, an MLS game, a game in Saudi Arabia, a game in Australia, a game in Far Eastern Asia, wherever it may be. It's not the same without having football fans there to be able to generate a real good atmosphere and give a real good feel-good factor, because I feel that's what makes the Premier League so special. There's so much passion, so much heritage, so much prestigious history, so much character that goes into football, that people who end up visiting feel that love and passion and end up falling in love themselves, which I think is really special. So when you take that away from everybody, all of a sudden you're left with nothing. So what does the football business, what does the politics matter if you're just left with, alienating everyone and everyone's unhappy? Yeah, the world for you guys. End of the day, football's just a game. It's all about 90 minutes. It's all about this. Man City ready to take on Nottingham Forest. Peter, welcome. Do hope you are well, my friend. So I'm going to be ending the poll in the chat very soon. So don't forget, get your votes in. 92% of you guys thinking Man City winning today. Lots of positivity. Don't forget, in the chat as well, where you're tuning in from today, and what's your score predictions ahead of today's game. I'm going 3-0 Manchester City win. Going goals today for Antoine Semenyo, Erling Haaland. I'm going to go Rayan Cherki with a goal for Man City today, and hopefully, fingers crossed, a clean sheet. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you are new around here. It is free to subscribe. Social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And finally, don't forget, leave a thumbs up as well. We're aiming for 100 likes. We're closing in on 50. We're now 9 likes away, guys. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. We'll get a lovely rendition of Blue Moon here at the Etihad Stadium ready for today's game between Man City and Nottingham Forest. Peter going with a 3-1 win for Manchester City. And glad to hear you're well, my friend. Everald, thank you for tuning in as well. Much appreciated. Says praying for the best still because he wants to see Argentina win a World Cup, looking to go back-to-back, of course. Right, players have made their way out of the tunnel. They've done the handshakes, they've done the warm-ups, and they're lined up, ready and waiting to go for this game between Man City and Nottingham Forest. Man City playing in their home shirts today, sky blue shirts, white shorts, sky blue socks, attacking from left to right. Nottingham Forest playing in their home kits today of all red, attacking from attacking from right to left, as Sells sends a long ball forward, dealt with by Ruben Dias. Loose second ball picked up by Nottingham Forest before it should be mopped up this by Rodri. He's pushed over. He wants a free kick. Referee says no free kick, and Nottingham Forest get themselves a throw in here in a very good attacking position to start this game. Peter said he's got the Arsenal match on as well. Will you please keep me up to date, Peter, with everything that's happening in that? That would be much appreciated. So, Nottingham Forest, we've seen this quite a lot from teams this season, taking their opportunity that if you're going to be not getting set pieces, but you're instead going to get throw-ins, we're going to launch a ball into the box via a throw-in. Ola Aina, I think it is, it's gone over, launches a huge ball into the box, falls to the edge of the area, and it's ping-ponging around. A couple of shots come in, a couple of blocks come in from Man City before they can get that one clear. Thank you very much, Peter. It is much appreciated. Right, we will end the poll as we have had kickoff for today's game, as again Forest to send the ball forward here. City being a bit lackadaisical to start this game. It's a fast-paced start here by Nottingham Forest, pushing for the opening goal as they find the header and the first shot on target, but it's straight into the gloves of Gianluigi Donnarumma, and Man City to survive that short scare. It was Morgan Gibbs-White there gunning forward there for Nottingham Forest and also helping to win the header. There was, 6 players around Morgan Gibbs-White there, and Morgan Gibbs-White, one of the smallest players on the pitch, still manages to win the header. There we are. Morgan Gibbs-White and Elliot Anderson, of course, know that Man City are interested and will be looking to try and make things happen today, because they know that another potential employer is watching, and that normally is good motivation for the players to put in a really impressive performance. I thought Elliot Anderson was one of the best players on the pitch when we were playing at the City ground earlier this season. Morgan Gibbs-White once more being linked with a move to Man City. He knows the interest is there again, so he'll be thinking, well, if I can, create and score today, then, I can create some things for Man City to think about. So we will see what does happen, as Man City now, after 2 minutes, have found their first opportunity to try and come forward. Currently got Nottingham Forest with everybody behind the ball, as Man City have the ball inside the Nottingham Forest half. It's Ruben Dias with the ball, just playing a ball short to Rayan Cherki. He's got Ait-Nouri with a little bit of space here on the left-hand side. It's a good step forward there by Nottingham Forest to try and intercept. They send the ball forward off balance and ends up giving the ball away to Donnarumma to mop up, and Marc Guehi will look to get Man City going again, as again just a little bit of pressing coming in there from Elliot Anderson, forcing Ruben Dias to play his pass back. Here is Bernardo Silva then for Manchester City, just having to drop deep into the pocket to help out. Seeing Rodri dropping deeper, almost playing as a third centre-back. Normally Man City go with just 2 centre-backs, and Nunes and Ait-Nouri will be given a bit more freedom to get forward, and if that's the case, Rodri will sit deep and drop deep, and kind of Ruben Dias goes to the right, Guehi to the left, and Rodri goes through the middle, and it gives Nunes and Ait-Nouri an opportunity to get forward. Sometimes, in particular, if we're dealing with quicker attackers, which Nottingham Forest have got their quick attackers, but they're on the bench, so that gives more freedom, I think, for Ait-Nouri and Nunes to get forward until you see the likes of Hudson-Odoi and Hutchinson come on, to which case you might need the likes of Ait-Nouri and Nunes just to drop a bit deeper, and that might revert back into maybe a back 3 or a back 4 for Manchester City, depending on if we've got possession and if we've not got possession. It can get very complicated. Following Man City, it can get very complicated. Geffen says 1-0 Aston Villa. Douglas Luiz with the goal. I can't remember who Aston Villa's got. I know I just did my Premier League prediction the other day. Here's Nunes, first ball into the box for City. It's just a floated high one. No real conviction on that, and that's easy for Matt Sells to just gather up unchallenged, and Nottingham Forest will look to try and build from the back here. I think Villa are at home, aren't they? Felishall are at Villa Park. I know Newcastle's got Man United today. Arsenal, of course, are playing against Brighton away. Man City are playing here. I think Chelsea are playing today. I can't remember who they're facing. They've not got Aston Villa, have they? Is it Aston Villa Chelsea? Who's playing? It is, yeah, Aston Villa Chelsea. 1-0 Aston Villa. There you go. And the other game is Fulham West Ham. There you go. Done. Done and dusted. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. Here is Rodgers. Gives the ball here to Ait-Nouri. He's got the run of Semenyo. He's not used the run of Semenyo, though. As Rayan Cherki collects the ball. Here's Bernardo Silva. A little bit of space here for bloody plant fly. A plant fly just flew right near my eye. Don't you just love being live? I have my bonsai tree right next to me. It's attracting a couple of plant flies. I have a little sticker, but he's escaped them. So, here we are. It flew right near my eye. I have glasses for protection for that. Here's Ruben Dias then. Gives the ball to Bernardo Silva. Got his Portuguese teammate, Matheus Nunes, on the right-hand side. There's a little bit of support. Haaland just peeled away from Milenkovic there, whose job today is probably going to be to stick to Erling Haaland like glue. A little bit of space for him, but the ball never came in. Don't forget, guys, just 8 likes now away from 50. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Here is Semenyo with a shot, and it's just into the side netting. A good effort there from Manchester City's second newest man, Marc Guehi, City's newest man. A good effort there from Antoine Semenyo, City's new, £60+ million signing from AFC Bournemouth. Good, hard effort there. Keeper is struggling there, if that's on target. There's a good bit of height there from Antoine Semenyo, but not to be. Chad, welcome. Do hope you're well, my friend. Do hope you are well. Here is Marc Guehi then for Manchester City. Doing all right. 5 likes away from 50 now. Nice. It was a good effort, I thought. Peter was a good effort. Here's Cherki under a bit of pressure. Does well, though, under pressure. Keeps hold of the ball. Not many options. Got to keep going out wide. As City showcased against Leeds, that going out wide, as long as you get a good low ball into the box, it can work wonders. And it doesn't necessarily need to be low ball. You got 6'4" Erling Haaland. You can put something of quality onto his head. Then the Viking can do something with that, can't he? Fresh from his collaboration with the Sidemen. I presume that was filmed before his injury. I've not watched the videos there. I've heard that he didn't really do that much in the videos. It was more just like a collaboration thing. Saw a few people kicking off about it. I'm not sure why. He only earns £500,000 a week in base net wage. He needs his collaboration for his YouTube channel for extra income. Here's Ola Aina bursting forward here for Nottingham Forest. Rodri has done a good job of just slowing Aina down, and Antoine Semenyo has done a very good job there of intercepting the ball, but he can't get it out for a throw-in, unfortunately, and Forest will get the ball back. Uncle cheering on Manchester City today. As we're now 3 likes away from 50. Here's Sells then. Got options to his right. We're getting a little replay of this Aston Villa goal at Villa Park against Chelsea. Easy as that goal, really, weren't it? Just a run down the right wing and squares it across and a tap in for former City man Douglas Luiz. That should be a free kick for Forest on halfway from Ait-Nouri and Is. Dominguez it was that were brought down. Here's Williams then to Anderson. He zips that pass in there to Morgan Gibbs-White. And a good interception. Arsenal 1-0 up. Bukayo Saka also putting the pressure on to Man City. Might just be a case where don't need any favours. We'll just do the business ourselves. But we could do with Arsenal just dropping some points, just to take a bit of pressure off us, just so we've got a bit of leeway on what we need to do. Here's Nunes then. It's a heavy pass there to Foden. Too heavy, and it will go out of play for a goal kick. Not really seen anything of Phil Foden here first 10 minutes. Probably just what the doctor ordered there for Arsenal, isn't it? 1-0 up. There's the goal from Bukayo Saka. There's a little shrug celebration. And Arsenal 1-0 up against Brighton. There we go. I presume Arsenal, if they can, will be looking to try and get that game wrapped up. But there you go. Peter says Brighton being the better team as well. Often is the case. Arsenal are one of them teams that are more than capable of dominating a game and creating opportunities and winning games. But they're also the kind of team who can park a bus, defend deep, and rely on the counter-attack. I won't go as far to say they're a complete team, because I don't think they're a complete team. But they're a very good team. I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't think they're a very good team. I think Arsenal are a very good team. Very good team. And they do what they do, and they do what they do very effectively. And it'll take Man City to be at their very best to be able to stop them from winning the Premier League. Jamal, welcome from Malaysia. Got Malaysia in the room. I like that. Welcome, Jamal. Do hope you're well. So, we've seen a couple of wayward City passes. Marc Guehi just did one, but thankfully unpunished. As Foden gets forward, he goes down. Didn't think there were too much in that from Nico Williams, and a free kick given. Just kind of runs into him. Well, of course it's morning in Malaysia. What time is it in Malaysia now? Let's have a look. Kuala Lumpur time. Time in the morning, is it? Jesus, why are you not in bed? It's nearly 4 a.m. You need to be asleep, my friend. You're like an owl. Here's Rayan Cherki then with the free kick. Takes it short. Here's Bernardo. We're taking short free kicks now. Are we going to actually put a ball in the box? Or is anything going to go into the box? Anything? Anything? Just passed across. What a waste. What a waste. A good crossing position, that free kick. To put a ball in the box. We've sent our defenders, all the tall lads, forward. And we choose to just pass and faff it round before I end up putting nothing into the box. Why? Why are our set pieces so rubbish? It really frustrates me. I don't know why, but it does. Here's Matheus Nunes. Cross comes in. Dealt with in the end and out for a corner for Manchester City. We brought James French in from Liverpool to be our set-piece coach. And I've not really seen much evidence that we've got a quality set-piece coach. I haven't. Can we hire a second set-piece coach? I don't get it. Set pieces are very important for how attacking Man City are. We get loads of corners and free kicks. You know, good balls into the box. Let our attackers really attack them. Here's Cherki. Corner comes in. Straight onto the head. Is that Elliot Anderson heading it clear? It's Elliot Anderson bringing it away, sorry. But, yeah, just a good quality ball in from a set piece can cause all kinds of problems. And we just choose not even to put a ball into the box, just pass it round. I'm half surprised we didn't pass the corner. We normally do. Rayan Cherki didn't manage to get it on a City head, so they'll probably pass the next one. Here's Forest then coming forward to Williams. Offside flag's gone up against Williams. He looks frustrated. He looks a frustrated figure here for 15 minutes. Nico Williams. Here's Marc Guehi. He gives the ball to Ruben Dias and City can come forward. Here's Matheus Nunes. To Bernardo Silva. City seeing a lot of the ball here, but other than that Semenyo side netting opportunity, I'm yet to see anything from City in this game so far. And Forest will be just thinking you get this to half time 0-0, and the Etihad will be getting on the backs of the Manchester City players. And if Arsenal, grab a second goal, panic stations start to hit because you're facing the prospect of going 7-8 points behind if things go south today. Here comes a very difficult business end of the season to turn things round with such a big gap, even though we have a game in hand and still to play Arsenal, so it's not all over. But home games against teams in 17th place, you've got to be winning them. You want to win Premier League, you got to win these games. You got to find any which way to win. Business end of the season. Here's Cherki then to Foden. Works the ball to Matheus Nunes. There's 3 in the box. Bernardo, Haaland and Semenyo. Nunes' ball into the box. Not very good. Headed clear by Forest. Only as far as Rodri. Here's Ait-Nouri. Heavy touch from him. Does well though to regain control and finds his pass back to Ruben Dias. Here's Cherki then. He's got options. Matheus Nunes is one of them. Should keep this one in. Goes first time with a low ball across. Caused a bit of problems, bit of bother that for Forest, but not to be in the end. Free kick given as well. I think it's Dominguez that's been brought down. Referee says it is a free kick, since he chose to have a little effort on goal there. Rayan Ait-Nouri, it was wide. It'd been a shame if you put that in the back of the net, wouldn't it? Really would. So it's been a bit of a sluggish first 17 minutes. No real creativity. No real talking points. A very forgetful 17 minutes. Here's Guehi then to Donnarumma. Got options to his right. Under pressure. Finds his little pass to Rodri. And Rodri will work the ball to Ruben Dias. And Man City can come forward. Options all over the place here for Ruben Dias. Goes with a short pass to Bernardo Silva. He's got Ait-Nouri in a bit of space. Goes with a lovely outside of his foot pass to Ait-Nouri. Ait-Nouri can't find his pass, looking for Rayan Cherki, and Nottingham Forest will get a foot on that, and they will manage to find a way to intercept as well. Man City should get the ball back. And, yeah, they do. Morgan Gibbs-White ends up giving the ball away. Rodri avoids a challenge, comes forward. Nunes avoids a challenge, comes forward. Doesn't avoid the second challenge. A good challenge that comes in from Dominguez. And Nottingham Forest can't get hold of the football once more. And Man City will look to try and create something as Phil Foden has to drop deep. Kushik, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Rodrigo has picked up an ACL. He's going to be out for 6 to 8 months. Is the reports from Spanish media. He's going to be missing the World Cup. He's going to, of course, be missing the rest of the campaign for Real Madrid, and probably not going to secure any transfers away from Real Madrid either. So he's going to be there for at least another season. I don't like seeing ACL injuries for players, so wishing him a speedy recovery, of course. Kylian Mbappe, I think, a doubt for Man City's game against Real Madrid for the first leg. They're aiming for him to be back for the second leg, and apparently Mbappe's been unhappy about that. Is Haaland intercepting a pass from the keeper. If City can get it right, it could be the first opportunity of the game, and then Bernardo Silva's effort takes a block, and Sells can make the save, a comfortable save in the end, and Man City can't punish the mistake from the Nottingham Forest goalkeeper there. Yeah, Mbappe unhappy because he wants to be making sure that he's fit for the World Cup, and he feels like Real Madrid want to rush him back to make sure he's ready for the Champions League when he doesn't want to play until he feels like he's over his injury and he's ready to play, which of course is all about player protection. So there we are. It's not the best of passes there from Phil Foden, and no one's on the same wavelength, and Forest can intercept and come forward. We do need to be clinical, Kushik. Very correct. Tuning in from Mumbai. So welcome. India in the room. Got Malaysia in the room. Good stuff. As we're now 48 likes, more than halfway to my like goal of 100 likes. So any help towards that, guys, would be great. Do subscribe as well if you are new around here. So it's 0-0 here between Manchester City and Nottingham Forest into the 20th minute. Not been a very good first 20 minutes or so of the game. It's been a bit sloppy. Neither side have created all that much. That might be about to change here, though, as Elliot Anderson heads into the Man City penalty area. Bit of work here for City to do. Williams going to put a cross in. Header won there very well by Marc Guehi. And Man City can look to try and come forward themselves. Here is Rayan Ait-Nouri to Antoine Semenyo. City just playing some good football, combination football in their own penalty area to try and turn defence into attack. And done a good job here. They managed to commit some players forward. Semenyo, Foden, Bernardo, Haaland, Nunes all forward. Nunes receives the pass from Cherki. Black Rose, we are international. Kushik, I've never heard of that before. I don't know what that is. Enlighten me. The referee is in the way and he's going to have to give the ball back to Man City. Man City want to get on with it, and referee just holding things up. Forest managed to make sure they've got their shape. As Nunes here into a potential crossing position, gives the ball to Cherki. So it just needs to be a bit quicker. Or a bit slow. Not much movement. Here's Foden. He might have a shot. He does have a shot and gets it wrong. Into the stands. There we go. A drink. Very nice. Enjoy your drink. Never heard of it before. A mixture of lassi and munches. Yeah, I've never heard of that before. I reckon it'll be quite a similar team, Kushik, that will start at the Burnabout to what we're seeing today. I'm hoping O'Reilly will be fit, and if he is, I suspect it'll be the same team we've got out here, apart from O'Reilly and for Foden. Here's Bernardo. Oh, lovely pass from Bernardo. Nunes can't get his ball across through the legs there. A great pass. Seamus, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. It is going to be a tough night. We've got to be at our creative best. When the opportunities do come, we've got to take them. At the minute, we've only hit the side netting, and that's all we've seen from City at the minute. I mean, Semenyo's played a lot of minutes and a lot of games for City since coming in, as has Guehi, so you imagine a rest is going to come from them at some point as Bernardo tries his effort, and that's blocked. There's a lot of bodies back there. 22 minutes in, 0-0. There's Bernardo Silva. He's got Nunes to his right if he wants to use him. He does. Nearly gave the ball away. Phil Foden's going to have an effort, and might have taken a little deflection, but Seld manages to make the save, and I think he just makes the point there that he's just adjusted his body. I think this takes a little nick. Nearly wrong-footed the keeper to a point that he spilt his save. Good low effort from Foden. Pep Guardiola likes what he sees. He's in a rush here for Man City to keep the pressure on. Wants to keep Forest pinned in. Taylor, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, we were speaking about Phil Foden before. Has he done enough to earn a spot on the plane to the World Cup in the summer with England? Because he started the season all right and he's just petered off. Pardon the pun, Peter. He's just got a bit flat now. I want to see more from him. Black Rose. They're a good, on paper, Nottingham Forest are a very good team. There's very little that's different from their team from last season. It's just, I don't know if they've just struggled with fatigue, with more games, with playing in Europe, as Haaland just bundles over Milenkovic. Shot in the end. Goes over from Semenyo. I presume a free kick's been given, and it has. So I wouldn't have got excited if that went into the back of the net there. Looked like Haaland had dragged Milenkovic down, and he did. Semenyo just looking to try and thread his pass through, looking for Haaland. Again, though, it's just you've got to take them risks to try and make things happen. You know, Semenyo gets the follow on there. If it's not a free kick from Haaland there, Semenyo's in with a wonderful chance of scoring. And it's through him taking that risk to want to create a goal that he nearly does create a goal. So this is what City have just got to try and continue with. I don't want to see safe passes. I want to see us playing risky efforts to try and just create, because it's going to be so difficult. We're going to go back to what I said before. It might just be a case that in terms of creating stuff in open play, it might be very difficult. And if that's the case, utilise set pieces as Rodri's dispossessed. And it's a 3-on-2 here for Forest. 3-on-2, Gibbs-White. And it's a poor effort there from Morgan Gibbs-White. It's their biggest opportunity of the game. And Gibbs-White just opens up his body. And Donnarumma's so big, just makes... He makes it look really easy there, Donnarumma. But, you know, I feel like... Do you know, I feel like it's more... Morgan Gibbs-White did a lot wrong there. He just showed where he wanted to go to the keeper. And Donnarumma's narrowed the angle down and just said, I know where you're going to go. And it's going to be an easy save. Morgan Gibbs-White's got to do a lot better. I tell you, if Morgan Gibbs-White wants to move to Manchester City... When the opportunities do come about when he's playing against us, he's got to take them because, you know, Morgan Gibbs-White scores there. Man City scouts. You know, Pep Guardiola, they're all making a note saying it was a tremendous finish, but it wasn't there from Gibbs-White. A save from the keeper, Donnarumma, keeps his clean sheet intact, and City nearly punished there from Rodri being pressed into a mistake. Not something we see often. I think he'd have been upset. Probably felt like he was fouled, but I thought it looked like quite a fair challenge, to be honest. Bernardo probably looks hurt because he's just playing so much. I'm surprised he's started here, to be honest. On his 8 yellow cards as well, I'd have arrested him. Here's Bernardo. Can't get his ball across. He can't win his challenge either, and Forest can come away with it. Here's Elliot Anderson. Ball gets cleared by Forest, only as far as Ruben Dias, and cut off well by City. Is Matheus Nunes then. No real space for City. Forest at all times have always got 5 or 6 players back. It's going to be difficult for City to create. Nunes goes with a ball across. I think he was looking for Semenyo, but it was nowhere near him. Easy enough for Forest to head clear. Can't win the loose ball though, and City are going to come back with another wave. Can City create an opportunity, a big opportunity? Nunes goes to Foden, squares one across. Too many bodies back there. Easy again for Forest to deal with. No real conviction in these balls into the box, has there? Looked like there was a foul there on Igor Jesus. In the end, referee says it's going to be a foul on Elliot Anderson and free kick for Nottingham Forest. Ooh. Forest now just starting to get... You know, sense the counter-attack. They've seen one opportunity now, and they'll sense their opportunity. Yeah, Dominguez it was before on Rodri. Not a free kick. Good interception. Gets the ball. Just Morgan Gibbs-White gets it all wrong. It's a real poor effort from the Nottingham Forest captain, that. But he's had his opportunity. We don't want to make sure he gets a second one. Because if we do, it could well punish City. And that's something we've got to be careful of here as we hit the 28th minute. Here's Sells then. Gives the ball to Murillo. He wants to drive forward. Plays his pass. A lovely drop of the shoulder there by Gibbs-White. And his effort hits the referee. He's frustrated because it's going to allow Man City to get some bodies back. It's twice now the referee's got in the way. Twice. That's a poor ball forward by Nottingham Forest, and their frustrations can hit in. That's a chance for them to create and do something. They're going to put the pressure here onto City and press, which Ruben Dias is just going to play a long ball forward, and it's a very good long ball forward to Erling Haaland, and City get it right here. Cherki then gives the ball to Semenyo. Semenyo on the outside of Nottingham Forest penalty area. He's got 2 for company. Takes it round 1, pushed over, wants a free kick. Referee says not much in it, not having a free kick. Ola Aina, can he get it clear? Semenyo did well, and he's going to commit a foul there on Ola Aina. And it's going to be a free kick for Nottingham Forest. Kushik, we'll see. New Zealand looked very impressive earlier today. Very impressive. Made short work of South Africa, and they've had a fantastic T20 campaign. England got a big game against India tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll see. Say thingy about the T20. You know, you can have a real perfect campaign, one bad game, and out you go. Here's Forest then. Ball forward. Jesus can't sort his feet out, and City will come away with the ball. Nunes then to Rodri. Gets the ball back here, Nunes. Ball into the channel. Cherki gets it under control. He's got Haaland for support. Haaland does well there, plays his pass to Ait-Nouri, and here comes the City cavalry then, turning defence into attack. As we're now 41 likes away from 100, guys. Any help towards that would be great, and do subscribe as well if you are new around here. Here's Marc Guehi then, towards the edge of the penalty area. Here's Cherki, he's got the support of Nunes. Cherki may want to go on his own, he just chips one in, and there's the opening goal. As easy as that. It's Antoine Semenyo, it's Rayan Cherki, just drives forward, a simple pullback. There's Semenyo, right place at the right time, just to tuck it home for Manchester City, and they grab the all-important opening goal that hopefully City can build on now. Yeah, I'm sure that makes everybody feel much better, finding the all-important opening goal of the game. City lead by a goal to nil, and it's Antoine Semenyo continuing his fantastic form since signing from AFC Bournemouth. Good finish. Just a good goal. Just chipped into space. Semenyo there has a lot of adjusting to do. Gets onto his left foot on the volley. Steers it in past the keeper. Bam! 1-0 Manchester City. That's what we like to see. 1-0. We need to build on this now. We've got a big 14 minutes or so. I think City just got to keep going, see if we can get a second goal. Because I think a second goal is going to bring Nottingham Forest out to play, in particular ahead of the second half. And if we could grab a third, getting ahead of ourselves now, but if we can grab a third, I think that'll be that. I think the thing is, I don't think Nottingham Forest are going to come out to play till it gets to. If they'll just want to keep this 1-0, trying, like Leeds United did, try and get to the 85th minute or something before they'll chuck the kitchen sink in. They've just got to get to that point, get to that 80th, 85th minute, and still be in contention in the game. So it's important that City just persevere and stick with this. I don't see Forest really changing much for the next 13 minutes. They know City are going to want to come forward and score goals. They know that if they can find little pockets of space, they can potentially create like they did before with that Morgan Gibbs-White opportunity. So we've got to keep going. We've got to keep going. In the 33rd minute. Here's Forest then, coming forward into the penalty area. It's Igor Jesus. He's going to have a shot, and it's a save by the keeper. He spilled it. There's a follow-up here. Williams has gone down. City do win the ball, and the offside flag eventually goes up. Not too sure who was offside there. Jesus in the build-up that was offside. Perfectly onside, if that's what the offside flag's gone up for. Or was it this one on Williams? Yeah, it's the Williams one. It's the offside flag's gone up on. A good challenge there from Ruben Dias. Good save from Donnarumma. You know, he spills it and it goes into the danger zone. There's power he weren't to know. I mean, does Ruben Dias get to the ball there? The studs are up. It's high. It's not going to matter even if it is because he's offside. So there's no VAR thing to check for a potential penalty. Chad, he's been a very impactful signing. I thought Omar Marmoush had a fantastic impact on Man City last January. Thought he brought something real different to our attack. And I thought it was very important in us looking better, playing better, and securing Champions League football for last season, which was very important for our aim, for our goal. Yeah, I mean, he does kick into Ruben Dias, so... I mean, who knows what the rules are in terms of penalties being given these days after... obviously, that decision against Marc Guehi for the game against Spurs. Who knows what happened? It's a similar situation, really. Diaz goes sliding in as he goes to win the ball. Player boots him. He gets injured through booting him because Diaz's foot's up and hurts himself is what's happened. As I said, there's no questions of if it's a foul or not. There doesn't have to be because Nico Williams is offside. So, it doesn't matter. A situation that we don't have to think about because it's a situation that's not there. Now, this I think is a bit silly because Williams has gone down. He's in pain. He's receiving treatment. He's literally on the whitewash. And I don't understand why the physios can't just tell Williams to move over and go on the other side and receive treatment ready for play to continue. He's clearly capable of moving. All he needs to do is move himself another yard off the pitch. Play can resume and we don't have to sit here for the last 3 minutes of nothing happening. Chelsea found an equaliser. João Pedro with a goal. Thank you very much, Gethin. Shame as it is, it'll be the only time I think in this Champions League campaign that we will be playing at home in the second leg, I think. Due to where we finished in the Champions League. It's always a luxury to have a home game for the second leg. So I think if we can get through Real Madrid and you get to the quarterfinals, it's just one of them situations. You know, we've done it before. Played Bayern Munich, beat them 3-0 at the Etihad in the first leg in our treble winning season. That game was killed off before we even got to the Allianz Arena. So it can work both ways. It can work both ways. Depends on how good of a team you're dealing with, really. I look forward to Champions League games against Real Madrid. Good chance for us to showcase what we can do. Here is Cherki then. Gives the ball to Diaz. He just floats this to Ait-Nouri on the left. He's got Ola Aina for company. Cherki just pivoting a lot across the penalty area, popping up on the left, on the right, in the centre. So currently on the left, he created the goal on the right. Cherki looking to try and thread a ball in for Rayan Ait-Nouri. Here is Ola Aina. He plays his ball through to Igor Jesus, and the offside flag goes up very early. And that will be the end of that for Forest. He did look like he was always ahead of play there. Igor Jesus. I think Jesus has got to do better. He's got to be looking across the line. He knows where he needs to be. He knows that he's offside, and yet he continues the run. Obviously, you're going to play to the whistle, but for me, he's got to do a bit better there, Jesus. He's got to be looking across where he needs to be. He realises too late. The pass is on its way. That's a bit of a sloppy play there from Matheus Nunes just to give the ball away. City held the shape and managed to get everybody back. Seeing more of that 4-1-3-2 formation actually there behind the ball from City. Ball gets chipped in. Guehi wins the header. Ball's mopped up. And free kick given against City. I'm not too sure what a free kick was given against City for there. I think it's Bernardo Silva that's been penalised. I think he's claiming a handball or something. He's saying it's his shoulder. Borderline, that one from Bernardo. Borderline. So free kick here for Forest. Some defending for City to do. It's very central, this. Too far out for a shot, but they could go with a deeper ball in. Elliot Anderson stood over this, along with Murillo. You think it's probably going to be Elliot Anderson that will do something with this. He does try and play a ball in, and it's ping-ponging around, and Bernardo Silva mops that one up for City and gets it clear. Murillo will gather it up, and he'll work the ball back to the keeper, and a chance here for City to push players forward. Sells goes with a short pass back to Murillo. Matheus Nunes gets his knee onto that. Bernardo Silva, a little shove there on Elliot Anderson, and Elliot Anderson dispossessed. He's one of them. He's just one of them horrible players, isn't he, Bernardo Silva, to play against. Like a yappy dog, isn't he? Just always at your heels. Yap, 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 yap. So annoying to play against. It'll be a big loss when he leaves at the end of the season, Bernardo. He will. I think he's just one of them players, like a pantomime villain. Everyone hates him. Unless he plays for you and everyone loves him. Peter, I will be at the Newcastle game, so no live watch along on Saturday. Unfortunately, I'll be up in the Toon enjoying the City away day, so looking forward to that. I'll be back with another live watch along. Real Madrid will be the next one, next midweek. The Bernabeu. Big game. I think the FA Cup, to be honest, is a free hit. It's a good ball forward. Here's Foden looking to try and round the keeper. Gives the ball to Bernardo. It's just dinked in, looking for Erling Haaland, but not the best of balls, and easy for Forest to defend. And Morgan Gibbs-White runs into traffic through Marc Guehi, and City can intercept. Peter, I'm hoping. I've not been before to St James's Park, so I'm looking forward to it. Should be a real good away day. Saturday night as well. Should be real good. Odin, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Do hope you're well, my friend. It's not the best of passes there from Phil Foden. And this hasn't been a very good half from City. Hasn't been a very good half. Jessica, it'll be brum brum in the car. It's not my mum's car, it's my own car. Or mocking the meme. Is it brum brum in my mum's car? Aye. Mixed in, my brother's going with me and my uncle. So yeah. Mixed says he'll drive. I'll drive back. Designated driver. I'll be on best behaviour. Sorry, I just got something that bleeped through. What happened there? Poor from me. Paying no attention. So Phil Foden threading the ball through for Haaland. There's an opportunity there. And it goes into the side net. It's a big opportunity that for a second goal. Big opportunity. Andy, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Chad, we've had a lot of possession. When I saw it last, it was 73%, I think it was. 73%. Here's Marc Guehi then for Manchester City. Gives the ball to Cherki. Floats the ball across to Rodri. Trains, planes and automobiles. And I'll be in the automobile. It's a late one. I think there's problems with trains. So trains was near enough impossible for that match against Newcastle. A lot of people are taking coaches or driving. As Semenyo, deep ball in, headed clear by Williams. Here's Nunes, gives the ball to Bernardo. He's going to run out of room there, Nunes. Forest do well to keep it in. It should be a throw-in for City. He's running everywhere, isn't he, Elliot Anderson? He's trying to make it happen. Trying to make it happen. The USA versus Great Britain, Andy Man says, in the World Baseball Classic on Friday. Did Great Britain ever win that? Oh, man. I'm in with the away fans, Chad. I'm with the City faithful. No, I didn't think we'd ever win the baseball ones. I don't know too much about that move, Peter, about TNT Sports and Discovery Plus moving to HBO. I heard they're setting up a free HBO app for smart televisions. So I think you just like put your login in and work it the same as what you would Discovery Plus. And I think if you're watching in real time like I am here, I think the TNT channels just stay the same. I don't know if they've done like a merger or something. I don't know what's gone on there. Anyway, free kick Man City into the first 4 minutes added on here. 4 minutes then. Yellow cards out as well. Sangare it is into the book. I can imagine City and United being after Elliot Anderson. A lot comes down to obviously the finances of the deal, but also comes down to both sides having to let players go. But I think Elliot Anderson would be a good one. But you know, if United come in and willing to pay more to Forest and pay more in wages, then City might want to walk away. We'll see. Anyway, free kick here for City. Worked quickly to Semenyo. Drives forward, goes low, and it goes. Oh, it's a brilliant ball from Semenyo. Absolutely brilliant ball across. Haaland can't believe he's not scored. Semenyo can't believe Haaland's not scored either. Lovely set piece. Now that's a much better set piece from City. Haaland just couldn't get there. His long legs. He was just reaching out like, please, please. Let me tap the ball into the net. Oh, man. Right, here's Rayan Cherki. We've still kept this ball alive. We've got 2 minutes. Can we make something happen? I don't think the 115 charges have made much difference on our transfer activity, to be honest. Pep Guardiola leaving might be a bigger factor, to be honest, than that. Football players at the end, that's lovely skills there from Ait-Nouri. I'll come back to it because City could have a chance. That should be a free kick. I'd rather have a free kick and put a ball in the box there, ref. Here's Haaland. He floats one in and no assist there for Haaland. It's too heavy. Too heavy. Right, guys, we're 33 likes away from 100. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe as well if you're new around here. So, probably time for maybe one more opportunity in this game. For this first half, anyway. City lead by 1-0. I believe Arsenal still leading by 1-0. Chelsea currently dropping points away to Aston Villa. That game 1-1. Sells then. Sends it long. Yeah, 60 seconds then remaining of this first half. Can Man City do something? Here is Gianluigi Donnarumma. Not got that many options. Goes to his left to Marc Guehi. He finds Rayan Ait-Nouri back to Guehi here. Forest just pressurising City. See if they can get the ball back high up, and they nearly do, but City gets a throw-in. It's a brilliant result that for Wolves. Got a slim outside chance of maybe staying up. Going to need a really strong finish to the end of the season. I'm talking winning 6-7 games remaining, but an outside chance of that maybe happening. And Wolves just seem to have been a bit of a nuisance team at the minute. Yeah, half-time you got United's game away at Newcastle. If you want to have a scout of Newcastle about what maybe to expect at the weekend for our cup game. This game's just going to fizzle out to half-time, just 5 seconds left. Forest got the ball. Thank you very much, Odin. Much appreciated. Right, there's the 4 minutes. Referee says, I've had enough of that. I'll blow the whistle, and that is half-time here at the Etihad Stadium. It is Manchester City 1, Nottingham Forest 0. And at the minute, Man City doing what is needed for us to pick up a big 3 points, and a big second half coming up for Man City as well. Found the all-important opening goal. The question is, can Man City look to build on it as this game goes on? The scoreline stays the same. You imagine that Nottingham Forest are going to look to try and build on... Forest are going to try and build on staying in the game and trying to make things happen. So... it's not been a great first half. I didn't think that from Manchester City. I think we've done enough to lead. We've not created all that much, but when opportunities have come, Semenyo hit the side netting. Doesn't make any mistakes second time round, though. Puts the ball in the back of the net. Haaland rounded the keeper and hit the side netting. Phil Foden forced a save from the keeper. Morgan Gibbs-White had a very big opportunity for Nottingham Forest as well. So both sides have had opportunities. There has been some talking points. It hasn't been that thrilling of a game. Man City lead, and hopefully we can get to full time and hopefully pick up what will be a real big 3 points. Just having a look at the stats for this game. City with 70% possession, Nottingham Forest with 30% possession. Expected goal rate for Man City at 0.45. Nottingham Forest just slightly behind at 0.38. Forest with 4 shots, 2 on target, 2 saves for Donnarumma, 7 shots for City, 3 on target, 2 saves for the keeper, 1 goal for Man City, falling to Antoine Semenyo on the 31st minute. 2 big chances created for Man City, 1 goal, 1 corner for Man City, none for Nottingham Forest. City pass completion rate, decent 92.3% compared with Nottingham Forest, decent 80.5%. Man City's accurate passes at 348 compared with 132 for Nottingham Forest. No yellow cards for Man City and no red cards. 1 yellow card for Nottingham Forest and no red cards. That 1 yellow card going to Sangare of Nottingham Forest, who needs to be careful heading into the second half. Just having a look at the bench for Man City and Nottingham Forest about what players are we expecting. Well, this stays the same. You expect to see the likes of Hudson-Odoi and Amari Hutchinson coming on in the second half. Pace and precision and options out wide for Forest could be something for City that we need to deal with. Potentially could be seeing former City man James McAtee maybe getting some minutes here as well. I think if City are looking for a bit more attacking finesse, a bit more quality in attack, you're looking towards the likes of, obviously, Omar Marmoush, Jeremy Doku, Semenyo, they're the attacking options. But I'm more looking towards midfield. Where's the creativity coming from? Because obviously you've got Nico Gonzalez on the bench. Tijjani Reijnders, I imagine we'll see at some point in the second half, and some good solid defensive options for City as well. Abdukodir Khusanov, John Stones, Nathan Ake as well could all be relied upon from the bench as well for City. But I think City are going to make probably a lot of changes at the weekend for our game against Newcastle. So with all that being said and done, I wouldn't be surprised to see City maybe only make 2 or 3 subs in this game, even though we're playing every 3 to 4 days for the next couple of weeks and some massive games coming up in them games. I don't think City will be in any urgency to maybe make some changes, because them changes they know is probably going to be coming in the game against Newcastle at the weekend in the FA Cup. And in an ideal world would have already had the League Cup final last weekend when it normally is at the end of February, but because the League Cup final now has been moved to the game just before the March international break, we know that we're not guaranteed to win a trophy, so we're going to have to take that FA Cup game against Newcastle seriously. Whereas if we'd already won the League Cup, I think Man City would have had more on their mind about Champions League and Premier League, that they might have been tempted to say, we're not going to be greedy, we've got 1 domestic cup, we're now going to we're going to try for the FA Cup, but if we don't get any further, we're not going to be too disappointed. Yet we could go out against Newcastle at the weekend. I don't think I'd lose any sleep considering we're already in the League Cup final, but and I could forgive Man City going out at the FA Cup for a difficult away game against Newcastle, but the only way I'd deem that acceptable is if we do win the League Cup. So yeah, in an ideal world, we would already have had that League Cup final, so I know where we stand on the FA Cup, but here we are, so we've got to take that seriously. Just having a look at Newcastle's team for their game against Man United, by the way, currently 0-0. That game kicked off at 8:15 GMT, so that's into the 10th minute there. Obviously strong, Ramsdale, Trippier, Theo, Byrne, Hall, Ramsey, Tonali, Joelinton, Elanga, Gordon and Barnes starting for Newcastle. So I'm looking towards their bench, because it's going to be a lot of them players on the bench that you think would be featuring for Newcastle in the game against City at the weekend, but they just don't seem to have that much depth. Obviously Ramsdale ahead of Pope, that's a big call. Botman on the bench, Wisser on the bench, Murphy on the bench, Willock on the bench, Asula on the bench. These are going to be players that you think are going to be pushing to try and feature. Tino Livramento not too far from making a return. He potentially could be starting that game. I don't know where Voltemade is. I don't know if he's picked up an injury, but he potentially wants to try and be fit for that game. In fact, I'm going to have a look at what's happening with Newcastle's injuries ahead of that game, as I'll just keep you guys up to date with the other games happening as well from around the grounds, and then we'll crack on with some halftime entertainment. So Kraft, he's going to be out until June. Bruno Guimaraes, he's out until April, so he's missing. Fabian Schär's out until April, he's missing. Lewis Miley's going to be out for a couple more weeks. So the bigger questions are Voltemade, who's got a knock. Is it an illness, actually, I think he's got. And Livramento, they're the two options that maybe could be available for Newcastle at the weekend for Man City's game against Newcastle, obviously, in the FA Cup. Just in Chelsea have scored a very late goal in the match at Villa Park. So Chelsea now 2-1 ahead at Villa Park against Aston Villa. Aston Villa just crumbling a little bit in third place, and Chelsea looking to try and keep things very interesting there for the battle for a Champions League spot for next season with Aston Villa, Chelsea, Liverpool and Manchester United. So it is Aston Villa 1, Chelsea 2. That game's still ongoing, not half-time there just yet. Brighton 0, Arsenal 1, Fulham 0, West Ham 0, Man City 1, Nottingham Forest 0, and Newcastle United 0, Manchester United 0 in the 11th minute. You do have a Premier League game tomorrow. It's Tottenham Hotspur taking on Crystal Palace, the final game of Premier League match day number 29. You had games yesterday, obviously all full-time scores now. AFC Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0, Everton 2, Burnley 0, Leeds United 0, Sunderland 1, and Wolves 2, Liverpool 1, with a full-time scores in that game, in them games from yesterday. Rightio then, guys. Halftime thoughts. What are you thinking? Any changes? I think I'd probably be looking towards Foden. I don't think he's been that impressive, and I can see Tijjani Reijnders coming on at some point. Potentially Haaland, depending on how fit he is. I can imagine him being taken off, probably either at halftime or on the hour mark. I could see him potentially being brought off and Marmoush coming on, but we'll see. Peter says for the League Cup, says bet we're going to win the League Cup. He's said it'll be a nice holiday celebrating in Lanzarote in the sunshine. Very nice. Sean, welcome. Thanks for tuning in as well. Says, why force Foden in this game? He's struggling and slowing up the attacks. Rodri not moving well since the tackle. Nunes needs to put in crosses into the box. Need 3 goals in this game. I agree with that. I don't disagree. Rodri's looked a bit leggy. Nico G on the bench, an option. Phil Foden, I'd be taking Phil Foden off. I'd be bringing Tijjani Reijnders on, would be my change. Peter says take Foden off and get Marmoush on. They could be options. Getting quality balls into the box, I think, is a good way of breaking Wolves open. Set play is a good way of breaking Wolves open. Of course, we saw that quick free kick from City, and Semenyo just taking one touch and squaring it across. Haaland should have bagged. He didn't bag. That was a good opportunity. These are things that City need to be thinking about. We're looking towards trying to get that killer 2-goal cushion. Really, we want to be pushing, see if we can get 3 goals and kill this game off. If we can keep a clean sheet intact, though, we don't need to score all these goals. We just need to score 1 to pick up the 3 points. But it is worth mentioning, Arsenal have the better goal difference right now. And if there is any opportunities for us to make gains on that goal difference, we could do with doing that, because goal difference acts at this stage of the season almost as an extra point. So, some good points made there, though, Sean. Much appreciated. Thank you for tuning in, as well as Peter as well. Right, I've got some halftime entertainment for you guys to enjoy. It is brought to you by my partner channel, Mixed. Links and details there in the description. This is the Pina Colada Enjoy.
What's going on, guys? Mixed here, back again for another summer themed cocktail. And personally, it's one of my favourites to do. It is the Pina Colada. Because I did this a few years back, but I know I can do a better version. This is my best version of the Pina Colada. Who doesn't like the Pina Colada song, Getting Caught in the Rain? So with the Pina Colada, guys, I like to blend it. That's my preferred method. Can just do crushed ice cubes into a hurricane glass, but I prefer the blended version, so I'll be showing you the blended version of the Pina Colada. So let's get straight into it. So you get your blender and fill it up with crushed ice. So I like to fill it up 2 to 3 cups. So I will fill up, just for measurement, to about 250 ml. The first ingredient into the blender, guys, is 60 ml or 2 ounces of white rum. I'm using Mount Gate Silver rum. It's a nice quality rum, this one, from Barbados. Next up, 45 ml or 1.5 ounce of cream of coconut. This is my homemade recipe. It's really easy to make rather than using Coco Lopez, but you can use that if you wish. But with cream of coconut, all you have to do is coconut milk mixed in with sugar, so about 400 ml to 375, and then just put it in a hot saucepan, put on low heat, just blend it in until it's smooth, and then there you go, cream of coconut. So it's really simple to make. So 45 ml or 1.5 ounce of cream of coconut. Next ingredient, 45 ml or 1.5 ounce of fresh pineapple juice. But it's an absolute game changer because there's nothing like proper ingredients like that, proper pineapple. Just blend it in to create your own pineapple juice. It's absolutely tangled, it's absolutely beautiful. And I really recommend using the fresher version of it rather than your pineapple juice. Now for the last ingredient, guys, I'm using citric acid dilution. I'll substitute for lime juice or lemon juice, any citric acid. Like I said, for this it will be lime juice, we're putting 50 ml or half an ounce. So citric acid dilution, 50 ml or half an ounce. So put your lid on, put your head on, and let's blend right into it. There you go, nice and beautiful. Another thing to do now is to strain into your hurricane glass. As you can see, guys, it turned out absolutely beautiful. Like I said, I think that's the best version I've done so far, the Pina Colada. Absolutely beautiful, that is. That's fantastic. Can't wait to try this. So the final thing to do now, guys, is to garnish it. So to garnish now with a wedge of pineapple. 2 pineapple leaves. And now the last bit is absolutely optional. It can be a cherry, you don't have to put this in, but I will do. So I'm going to use a maraschino cherry. And there we go, 1 Pina Colada. That's how you make a Pina Colada. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, 1 Pina Colada. How does it taste? Absolutely beautiful. It's a more iconic cocktail than the summer for pina colada, especially when you're on holiday. I could drink these all day long. I had to give that a 9 out of 10. Like I said, it's my best version. I'm really happy with that because it's better than the one I did a few years back. Because it looks nicer, it tastes nicer, and the main thing that makes it for me is the tanginess of the pineapple juice. It's just a quality difference. Like I said, you can tell the difference between fresh pineapple juice and the concentrate pineapple juice. It just makes it that bit more fresher, mixed in with the rum, especially the cream of coconut as well. That's what makes this drink, the cream of coconut. Really refreshing, really sweet, and it's just beautiful. Well, that, guys, is the pina colada. Do let me know in the comments below, what do you think of my pina colada? But say, do you like this cocktail? Is it your go-to for the summer? But I've been Mixed. This has been the pina colada. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Mixed for more videos like this as I'm on the road to 2K. Thank you for your support, and I will see you guys for my next cocktail video. Cheers.
And a big thank you to Mixed for providing today's halftime entertainment. Do go and check him out. Links and details, they are in the description. So, perfect timing. We're ready and waiting here for the second half. It is Man City attacking from right to left, who are going to get us underway here for the start of the second half. I'm not sure any changes have been made. As City just pass it back, go to Donnarumma. Looked like he were going to go long. Perhaps Ait-Nouri might think about going long. No. He's going to go backwards instead. Right, here is Bernardo Silva then. Gives the ball to Phil Foden. Once more back to Bernardo. No changes, there we go. Jessica says, make me want a cocktail. On a holiday and nice weather. It does, doesn't it? It really does. Really does. Oh, man. Good evening, Mixed, though. Thank you for tuning in. It is much appreciated. And thank you very much, Sean, for your kind comment. Chad, big shout out to you. Thank you very much for the $10 donation. Says, have fun at Newcastle. Come back with a W. Thank you for another live watch along. You're more than welcome, my friend. Thank you very much for the $10 donation. Remember, all donations that go to the channel just gets reinvested in going to the channel. So, for example, Chad's $10 will go towards, my match ticket for the game against Newcastle. I'll be doing a match vlog for you guys to enjoy. I do quite a lot of football match vlogs on the JSGC football channel. Links in the description if you want to go and check it out. It has been award nominated before, so I would appreciate people checking it out. People seem to enjoy the stuff that we do over there, and I'm going to be using Mixed's help because he helps run the JSGC football channel, putting together something very special in being able to cover a Manchester City special away day against Newcastle and also the game against Arsenal at Wembley. I'll be going to that one as well and doing something similar, I hope, there for you guys to enjoy, just doing something a little different. So, yeah, thank you very much, Chad, for helping towards that. It is much appreciated. Shout out to you, my friend. Do hope you are well as well. Here is Man City then coming forward. Ait-Nouri on the right, making things happen, driving forward, runs out of room. He's tackled, and Forest need to get this one clear, send it down the flank. City get a foot onto it and do well just to mop it up as well and find a bit of space. Here's Rodri then to Ait-Nouri, back to Bernardo. Here's Cherki, bit congested here on the right. City choosing to keep it on the right as well. Here's Bernardo Silva then. Gives the ball to Ait-Nouri. Ait-Nouri is a cracker of a player. It could be very important for the games against Madrid coming up, you know. Very important. Him and O'Reilly, two very underrated players at City. And I mean very underrated players. Here's Ait-Nouri then. Gives the ball to Rayan Cherki. Works the ball back to Marc Guehi, and so good pass into the channel there from Cherki. He's been a cracker of a signing, hasn't he? Rayan Cherki, fantastic player. City then give the ball away, and Forest just give the ball straight back to Man City. So guys, don't forget, leave a thumbs up. We're now just 27 likes away from 100 likes. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. And don't forget as well to subscribe if you are new around here. Oh, it's great from Bernardo. His effort comes in, it's just wide. Good effort that from Bernardo Silva. Drifting in and out, right to left foot, on his stronger left foot. Cross goal, just past the post and wide. Good work that from Bernardo Silva. Weaving in and out there. Oh, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. On to his stronger left foot. Leaves Williams for dead. Unlucky that from Bernardo. I think Sells gets a touch onto it. He does, yeah. It's a corner. Look like he's got fingertips. Good save from the keeper. Corner then. It's deep. Header won by Rodri. City can't get hold of the ball, and Forest will get it clear. Not great, but not too bad of a ball in that for a corner from City. It was Cherki with the corner there. I'm wondering here. Obviously, Haaland just coming back from a knock. Massive games coming up. How long do you reckon it'll be before City do start to look towards their very strong substitute bench? I reckon just after the hour mark, you'll start seeing changes. And I'm sticking with what I said before. I don't think it'll be 5 changes. I don't think City will rotate that way. I think City will be making, I reckon, 3 changes at most today. And they'll take their opportunity for rotation at the weekend against Newcastle, because City know that Newcastle have got a massive game against Barcelona, so they're going to have to rotate as well ahead of their huge Champions League game. Newcastle have the advantage, of course, that it's a home game that they've got against Man City, and it's a home game that they've got against Barcelona, whereas Man City, of course, got to travel up to the northeast on Saturday night. Not much recovery time, and by the time it gets to Sunday, we need to start preparing for our game against Real Madrid, which is taking place on Tuesday evening, 6 days' time. So, playing this game against Newcastle and the game against Real Madrid, all in the space of 6 days. Scheduled brutal. So squad depth needed. And I think City will try and utilise that squad depth on Saturday. So the players that have started today, I think a lot of them will see this game out. Here's Bernardo then. Gives the ball to Ruben Dias. Oblak's coming in here from Matheus Nunes. I didn't think that was the best of passes from Dias to Nunes. I think Nunes wanted that in front of him, something for him to run onto, and it was just straight to his feet. By the time he took control of the ball, Williams was on him. It's a lovely disguise. Here's Cherki. Cherki! Oh, he does everything right there, but the effort on goal. He gets it onto his right foot. Cherki's frustrated. He can't believe he's not put a shot on target. He can't believe he's not scored. He does everything right there, the former Lyon man. And space just opens up, and he's just too much on it, too much underneath it, over the top of the crossbar, just inside the area. He'll be disappointed there not to find the target. It's a good yard or two above the crossbar, so it's not a close one to the goal. He'll be disappointed, Cherki, there, I think. Probably frustrated more than disappointed. Should be a throw in this for City. Aina wanted to take a throw in for Forest, but it looked like it came off the Forest man. So City do get the throw in, and here's Phil Foden. Doesn't have the runner Nunes. He's chosen just to not burst forward there. Just trots forward instead, and it's kind of killed Man City's attack there, that there wasn't an extra player on the right for a pass to come in there for Phil Foden. He's had to just turn it back. I thought Nunes there should have been bursting right forward, charging forward, sprinting forward to get into a good position. I wonder if City are just a bit weary of the 5 at the back and Nico Williams wanting to get forward, and he doesn't want to be caught out high up. But I think in that position, you've got to burst forward for me. Back to what I said in the first half, you've got to take risks. You want to create and make things happen in this game. Forest are just going to sit tight till the 85th minute in the hope that it stays 1-0 and they can get something to stick and they come away with a point. You've got to take risks. to score goals. I'd like to see Nunes take the risk there and pelt forward, but he doesn't. Good interception that by Man City. He's giving a free kick against Ait-Nouri there. Look, Ait-Nouri got his foot on the ball there for me. Forest will be happy. Gives them a bit of respite. Exactly, Peter. Not only does it, make you feel better that we're 2-0 up and you're not sat here, this gets to 85th minute, it's 1-0, everyone will be dead nervous. So you can find that killer second goal sooner rather than later. You can start thinking about scoring more goals, open this game up because Forest have got to come out to play, and you can start thinking about goal difference. Whilst it stays 1-0, they're in the game. It's the same at the Amex Stadium for Brighton. The longer that game goes on, the more nervous Arsenal's going to get because Brighton are still in the game. Here's Haaland, plays a pass to Cherki. He's got nothing on. Semenyo just allows Ait-Nouri to mop that one up. Here's Nunes making a forward run. Bernardo uses Matheus Nunes. Nunes then makes a charging run forward and his ball into the box isn't very good and it goes beyond everybody and out for a throw-in on the opposite flank. 1-0 it remains here. Nottingham Forest then are going to twist. They're going to chuck on a substitution and a possible change of shape coming in for Forest as well. Peter says Brighton looking the better side against Arsenal as well. I'm not watching the game, so I don't know. I will take your word for it, and hopefully if we can get a Brighton equaliser, it might just lift everybody up, as we're now 27 likes, guys, away from 100. Any help towards that would be great, and don't forget to subscribe as well if you're new around here. Odin, that game has kicked off at the same time as ours, so it's at near enough the same exact spot that our game is at, so no real advantage or pressure being put onto one or the other. It's a rarity, actually, that we're playing at the same time as Arsenal. I don't think that's going to happen many times between now and the end of the season with TV selections. There'll be a lot of games taking place at different times and different days across this run-in. So this might be the last time that us and Arsenal end up playing at the same time. City then win the ball high up here from a Forest mistake. And can City capitalise on it? Can City capitalise on it? No, Phil Foden can't get that pass from Bernardo under control. And Forest can look to try and come forward instead. Gibbs-White manages to find his pass. Dominguez does well, finds Ola Aina. There's two forward here for him to potentially aim at. Aina then up against Ait-Nouri, goes towards the back post. Header flicked back in towards Jesus and a shot and a goal. Forest find the equaliser. It's it's Morgan Gibbs-White with the goal. And Manchester City there just couldn't deal with the ball into the box. And City got just over half an hour to try and sort this one out. And I said it's the danger of not killing the game off. You keep a team interested at 1-0 and Nottingham Forest there, clinical in their effort. Gibbs-White in the right place at the right time. Turning, fires it low beyond Donnarumma. Disappointing defending from Man City. Good attacking play. Good work from Dominguez to find Aina. It's Ola Aina that makes the goal though. A good ball in towards the back post. Jesus keeps it interesting. It's a little cheeky flick, from Morgan Gibbs-White. Back heel, through the legs, catches the keeper out. It's a good goal, that. It's a cheeky little goal from Morgan Gibbs-White, that. A really cheeky goal. Donnarumma doesn't see it till late. It's low and hardened. I think this is City's awakening to say, you want to win the Premier League title, you have to do something different. Them risks that I was just speaking about, guys, that Man City have been too safe in this game. Too safe. Got to start taking them risks, and Man City now have got work to do. There'll be a big smile on the team in North London that play in red right now. And this will definitely be 2 points drop for Manchester City. City have got to get their act together and quick. And this is where, the anxiousness starts to set in. City could do with really finding a goal instantly as the ball ping-pongs around the Nottingham Forest penalty area. And this game just opens up for Forest now. And that's just going to... Is that going to ricochet? Haaland, can he win it? No, Sells does well and finds the interception there for Forest. So we've got 32 minutes to sort this out. Plenty of work for City to do. I didn't realise Morgan Gibbs-White just how good of a finish it was. Long ball comes in from Forest. Should be won by a City head. It is. Mopped up well by Forest. And they've got options here. City have got to be careful. Here's Jesus. He has a shot. Well blocked. City should mop this up. In the end, it's a poor clearance there from Matheus Nunes. I don't think Nunes has had the best of games today. The ball comes across. Forest are now getting players forward. They're confident they can do something else. And Elliot Anderson slips and his pass is no good. And here's Haaland, wants to make a charge and run. He's barged to the ground and City will get themselves a free kick. I bet the Arsenal fans are buzzing. They'll be sensing that there's going to be an opportunity. City then. 30 minutes. They've got to sort this out. They need to obviously score again. There's always a free kick that from Murillo. Weren't a shoulder to shoulder. It was just literally I'll shove Haaland out the way. He's going no further. Right. Here's Nunes to Rodri. He's got options. Gives the ball to Guehi. Here's Ait-Nouri to Guehi. Under pressure. He's going to get dispossessed. There's a good through ball coming in and Ruben Dias is going to do real well to mop that one up. Really well to mop that one up. And he'll do well to get a throw in there for City as well, Ruben Dias. And so we do it the hour mark. Forest then fancy that they're in business here, fighting for their survival, of course. As we're now 26 likes, guys, away from 100. Any help towards that would be great. City then not hesitating to head to the substitute bench. Nathan Ake is going to be coming on very soon, as is Jeremy Doku. A bit of pace for Man City in attack and just going to look to try and shake things up. I wonder if Man City might take an extra midfielder off and go more traditional 4-3-3 is. Haaland has a shot deflected and over the top of the crossbar. Corner. I don't know why Ake's coming on. I wonder if this is just a bit of rest for Marc Guehi potentially or Ait-Nouri that he can go on the left. Ait-Nouri's going to come over and take the corner then for Man City. City will just hold on making them substitutions. Can we utilise set pieces? I said how important it is when you're not playing particularly well, that you can do something off a set piece. Ait-Nouri stood over it. Diaz is in there. Haaland's in there. Semenyo's in there. Bernardo's in there. Ait-Nouri then. Close to the keeper. Free header. In! We've utilised the set piece. I don't believe it. It's Rodri, I think, with a goal for Manchester City. There's grappling. There's wrestling going on at the corner. And boy, did Manchester City need that one. Sells is claiming he's being fouled. Claiming that he's being hugged. It's going back to these corners again. All the amount of pushing, shoving, wrestling, grappling, holding that goes on. It's unbelievable. Let's have a look at it then. What on earth is Sells moaning about? He shoves Haaland and he's nowhere near the ball. That's a perfectly legit goal. It's poor defending is what that is. Poor defending. It's a great ball from Ait-Nouri. It's a free header. It just ricochets around and Forest can't deal with it. The yellow card's out now for Milenkovic. Loads of... I don't know what Forest are moaning and... I really don't... I try and be as fair and unbiased as possible. And if I think there's something in a claim for a goal to be disallowed, I'll try and look at it to be as unbiased as possible. I don't see anything in it at all. I don't get what they're complaining about. Anyway, Forest have made substitutions. Dominguez has come off and Callum Hudson-Odoi has come on in response to that goal from Manchester City. Dominguez looks like he's going to cry. had a good performance, Dominguez, I thought, for Forest today. Anyway, just waiting for play to get back underway for the confirmation that the goal has been given and will count. Etihad in fine voice after that goal. Celebration of relief. Passion, supporting the team, I don't know. Anyway, play continues, goal is given. There was nothing wrong with that. Of course, Taylor, we do need another. We do need another. You can't, Forest are coming out to play now. We can't sit on this. Jessica, I don't know. I don't know if it could go down as a Murillo own goal. I have no idea. And Taylor, enjoy your meeting. Hopefully you can keep an eye on what's going on in the game during your meeting. Here's Semenyo driving forward. Can't get anywhere. Forest can come away with the ball instead. Nice little flick there from Gibbs-White. Nice little flick there from Rodri. And Cherki goes down. He wants a free kick. Referee says no free kick. Play will continue. Forest will come forward. And Forest now happy to try and rough and tough this one. Getting a bit physical out there. Here's Williams surging forward. Gives the ball to Anderson. Support of Hudson-Odoi on the left. Ball's coming into the box. Ball's coming into the box. Guehi deals with that and deals with it well. Chad, enjoy your meeting as well, my friend. Same as I said with Taylor, we can keep an eye on what's going on in the game during your meeting. Is the ball played back to Sell. City can't afford to sit on this. Need to keep going. I don't know what's happened to City's subs of Ake and Doku. Ake stripped ready to come on. He's gone to warm up along with Doku, so them subs aren't happening just yet. Pep just wants to see how this works out first before committing to the substitutions. As we're now 22 likes away from 100. So any help towards that would be great, guys. I think the goal's gone down according to the Premier League app as Rodri's goal. Is that his first goal since he's come back from his injury? Here's Marc Guehi. Options of Nunes on the right if he wants to utilise it. Yeah, we could do with getting this killed off ASAP, really. Here's Bernardo. To Rodri, back to Foden. Rodri. Is Ait-Nouri. Gives the ball to Semenyo. Here's Rodri. A couple of direct passes could have been played in there. Excuse me, Nunes and Haaland were both prepared to make a direct run. The ball never came. Here's Rodri now for Man City. Some options here on the right. Uncle says he'd like to see Nico Gonzalez come on for Phil Foden. Surprised we're not seeing Tijjani Reijnders as well. Potentially coming on. You'd think Foden would be the one. It's not easy. It's a very physical role sitting behind the striker in that slot. Marmoush could be an option, to be honest. He could end up being an option. Here's Rodri then for Man City to Foden. Here's Bernardo Silva then to Rodri once more. Just clips a pass over to Rayan Cherki. In the 67th minute here at the Etihad, City leading by 2-1. Goal coming in from Semenyo in the first half. A lovely flicked goal from Morgan Gibbs-White for the equaliser. And Rodri from a simple corner and header has put Man City 2-1 up here at the Etihad Stadium. Here is Rayan Cherki for Manchester City. Gives the ball to Rodri. Got options here on the right. Goes with Phil Foden in the centre instead. He's still got them options to the right, but he doesn't use them. Here's Guehi. He's going to go to the left with Ait-Nouri. Here's Rodri once more. Plays a little flick pass looking for Ruben Dias and finds him. Here's Bernardo. Nearly gets his pass intercepted. In fact, he does get his pass intercepted. It was a lackadaisical forward pass that. Really good work from Ait-Nouri to try and win the ball back there. Really good work from Rayan Ait-Nouri. And it's going to be a throw-in for Nottingham Forest. Really good work that from Manchester City and from Rayan Ait-Nouri. As West Ham have picked up a massive goal down at the bottom. West Ham now lead away against Fulham. That impacts Nottingham Forest. That's a massive goal at the bottom. I think that's put Forest into the bottom three right now. Former Forest manager Nuno Espirito Santo as well. Oh, so it's a free kick, not a throw-in for Forest. Elliot Anderson puts the ball deep into the box. City do well just to defend that one out. Semenyo's going to keep that one in for City as well. He's going to think about the counter-attack. Plays a pass to Foden. Here's Rodri. Nunes, can he look up? He can. What options has he got? He's got 2 options. Goes through the centre. So Forest with that goal... West Ham with that goal go out of the relegation zone, and it's Forest. It's very tight there at the bottom. Spurs are well in that relegation battle at the minute. As Guehi, it's a sloppy pass from Guehi. It's his second sloppy pass from Guehi. Needs to switch on and focus. We can't afford to be giving the ball away, in particular in the midfield areas. Thankfully, Forest have ended up going backwards, so it's just a possession loss and nothing more as of right now. Very unlike Guehi. It's the second time he's done that. Very unlike him. Forest can't keep that ball in, and that'll stop their attack. Morgan Gibbs-White trying to make an impression. He's looked good today, Morgan Gibbs-White. And obviously, that big opportunity. It'd been easy for him to have gone into his shell and not show up. But I think Morgan Gibbs-White's looked pretty decent for Forest so far in this game. I was impressed with Elliot Anderson in the first game that we played against Forest back in December at the City ground. And it's Gibbs-White that I'm impressed with today. I think Gibbs-White's looked Forest's best player. I know he splits opinion, but I think he's been Forest's best player. I've just always maintained since we were getting linked with him last summer that I'm just not sure he fits into City's system properly. I don't really see how we'd make it work with him, but we'll see if we do make a move for him. And if we do and we end up bringing him in, I'll support him all the way. I think, to be honest, I want to have as much time with Rodri as possible. So I think if it is a case where he doesn't want to sign a new contract, I'd rather he left for free than get a bit of money for him. That's a good ball to Haaland. He goes down. He wants a pen. It's a penalty or a yellow card for Haaland. What's the decision? It's either a penalty or a dive for me. What's he committed towards? I've not got sound on, so I don't know what's being given. So good pass that from Cherki. Keeper comes out. It looks like the keeper makes contact, but it's going to be the close-up that's going to give us a better answer here. Does he just get the end of Haaland's boot there? I think he just grabs Haaland's boot there. Rounds the goalkeeper. Yeah, he just gets contact from the keeper, so it should be a penalty that for Manchester City. And a chance to kill the game off. What's he given? What's he given? How's he not given a pen for that? He's given a goal kick. How can you commit? It's either a dive or a penalty. It's one or the other. What a ridiculous decision. That is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I will be honest, I like to be fair. Haaland knows what he's doing. It's a heavier touch and he is on his way down. He's looking for the contact, but he gets the contact. That's a ridiculous decision. Absolutely ridiculous decision. You know, I do understand the referee not giving the penalty. I don't understand the referee looking at it and saying, I don't think that's a penalty. If referee says that's not a penalty, you yellow card him for a dive. It's simulation. It's one or the other. There's contact. He's gone down. He wants the penalty. So it's either he's made contact, it's a penalty, or he's not made contact, he's tried to cheat, and it's a yellow card for simulation. They're the two options. How do you give a goal kick and say, I don't think it's a foul, but I also don't think it's a dive? And I don't get how VAR look at it and go, oh yeah, do you know what? Yeah, he's not dived. The keeper's made contact. But I also don't think it's a pen. This is why they should be mic'd up and made to bloody well explain it. I want that explaining to me how he doesn't think that that's not a penalty. I don't understand it at all. Exactly, Peter. You yellow card him for simulation. It's cheating. It's either a dive or it's a pen. One or the other. Unbelievable officiating. Absolutely unbelievable. I'm not hearing it from people who are saying that Man City always get the calls going in their favour, because they don't. The officiating is just bad. For everyone. It's just bad. Absolutely inept. Anyway, changes. It's not Ake. It's Abdukodir Khusanov that's going to be coming on. Jeremy Doku and Abdukodir Khusanov are going to be the players. Seamus, they are cowards. Bottled it. Completely bottled it. Odin, I don't want Rodri to leave, but if he decides he's not signing a new contract, you're then in a situation, because he's only got 1 year left in the summer. Here's Foden. A chance here for City to kill this one off. Cherki can't find his pass to Semenyo, but Forest can't get control of it either, and City can have the ball in the final third. Can they do something with it? It's the question. Jessica hoping Leeds get relegated, but if it's not to be them, Forest are a good consolation prize. Why them two? Is it the Leeds reaction from the last game? Is it the Forest reaction from the game in December? I had pretty negative reactions to my takes from the game against Forest. I thought it was very respectful. I thought it was pretty unbiased, but I had to go on a blocking spree of people that were just hurling all kinds of abuse. I was like, I don't really get it. I think I've been very fair with what I've said, but yeah, weren't a big fan of that, and I'm sure they'll be piping back up again after this game as well. Leeds fans with me have all been all right, so yeah. Going off the abuse that I've received from my opinions on the games, I think Forest would be my pick. I like West Ham as well, so I don't think I want to see them go down. But we've still got them to play, so I'm holding judgment. Here's Forest then coming forward. Game opening up, final 15, just 1 goal in it, all to play for. Forest currently in the bottom 3 with West Ham winning against Fulham. Man City currently matching what Arsenal are doing with a slender 1-goal advantage. Arsenal away against Brighton. Cross comes in from Aina. Good block from Ait-Nouri. Man City now onto the back foot here. Need to try and find ways to get the ball back. Here's Gibbs-White. He wants to put a ball in. He wants to go early. Doesn't. Goes back instead. Here's Sangare to Aina. City managed to get a foot on it. Rodri can't get it back. Good challenge that from Ola Aina. It's tough. It's low, but he gets there and he wins the ball. Here's a chance here. Anderson, goal! It's a great goal, Elliot Anderson. It's 2-2. It's 2 good goals from Forest. And Forest are battling, and Man City, again, 14 minutes to go, have work to do. A real good finish that from Elliot Anderson, and they were just getting up ahead of steam there, Forest, and City just struggling, being forced back, really struggling. We'll go back to that big penalty call, of course. Referee bottled it. Penalty every day of the week. We had a chance to get a penalty and go 3-1 up and kill the game off, and Forest 2 minutes later up at the other end equalising. It's a good finish that from Elliot Anderson. A really good finish. Lots of space. It's just a real good goal, I think, that more so than anything else. It's a fair challenge on Rodri, by the way. Don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm confident when I put 2-2 in, and more work for Man City to do. 15 massive minutes to try and scramble together a result here. A really good finish that from Elliot Anderson. A really good finish. Been 2 good goals from Forest. And a 2-man City are linked with Gibbs-White, Elliot Anderson scoring, showcasing what they can do. Right, changes have been made from City then. Doku and Khusanov are on, and City are banking on them to try and make something happen. Doku's gone to the right-hand side here for Man City. A heavier touch from Doku. We need him to get up here into ahead of steam here as quick as possible. What's City's bottle like? How much do they want it? That's a good challenge from Khusanov. Really good defending from Man City to win that ball high up. Stops the counter, and it keeps us in possession and keeps us in the game. Here's Cherki. Fred's a pass through looking for Haaland, but there's too much on it, and that'll go out for a goal kick. Clock now continues to tick away. Forest will be doing all the time-wasting tactics, knowing this is a big point for them on the road. Forest now out the relegation zone with that point on goal difference. Just 4 in that goal difference between Forest and West Ham. Work here for Man City to do, though. Who saw this coming? Who saw this coming? We need to find something in these last 12 minutes. This is what champions do. You're not playing particularly well. You're under pressure. Things aren't going your way. You make it go your way. You find that goal. Throw in for City. Not had confirmation on who's come off for City, so I'm just going to have to work out who comes off, as Forest are going to make another change. Jesus is going to come off, and Iwanome is going to come on. I wonder how long it's going to be before you do see Marmoush come on. City have got to start chucking players on, surely, sooner rather than later. Yeah, I never had confirmation on the subs, so I don't know who's come off. It was Doku on for Foden, and Ait-Nouri's come off for Khusanov. And the changes is Forest still in this. Getting forward. Here's Anderson. Cross comes in. Not the best of crosses, and Doku will mop that one up for Man City. He's got to find his pass. He's barged into it at the back, and that'll be a free kick. Gibbs-White conceding the free kick there. Hey, Ramsey, thanks for tuning in. What, 10 minutes? 10 minutes. That's a poor giveaway. Here's Forest coming forward again. We look so vulnerable. So vulnerable at the back. Here's Anderson. Here's Anderson. Shot's not a very good one, isn't it? It's going to go out of play. It's going to be a goal kick for Manchester City. In fact, it's that bad. It's gone out for a throw, and I thought it would gone out for a goal kick. Anderson has a smile on his face. Anyway, here's Rodri. We need to double down here. We need to focus. Got big 9 minutes. Big push. Got to do something. Got to find a goal. Got to find it. It's got to come. You can't win Premier Leagues dropping points against 17th in the Premier League at home. Can't. It doesn't happen. And it just gives Arsenal that comfortable period as well. It can't happen. Had it in our hands. We know what we need to do. We've got to find a goal. We've got to find a goal. Here's Doku. He has a shot. It's over the top of the crossbar. It's wide as well. High and wide from Doku there, off balance. And the clock just continues to tick away. Space opened up there for Doku. Just gets it all wrong, leaning, off balance. Cherki then, he's going to come off. And it's going to be Semenyo. Why is Marmoush not coming on? Why is Semenyo on the pitch? What did Semenyo do when he came off the bench against Leeds the other day to warrant that when we need a goal, that he gets 8 minutes here to make something happen? How and why? Unbelievable. I really hope Sav can prove me wrong, but that's an unbelievable sub. Absolutely unbelievable. City are up, they're not all over the place, but they've got no real control here. Manchester United have just found an equaliser against Newcastle, Casemiro. Absolutely unbelievable. Sells goes long for Forest. Header should be won by Diaz. Bernardo can't win his header. Guehi will win the foot race and he'll find his pass to Nunes. Forest fancy this. Newcastle down to 10. Who was sent off? Here's Guehi to Doku. Back to Guehi. Diagonal ball comes across, headed back in towards space, headed clear by Forest. That was good from Manchester City there. Nunes it is on the left here, trying to make something happen. He goes first time looking for cells and he spills it and gets on top of it second time. Ramsey, there we go. Says a dive, although not sure it was a dive. Is he suspended for the game at the weekend now? Forest still trying to get players forward, trying to make things happen. It's a good block from the header Khusanov there. He knew nothing about it. It's helped City get possession though. Here's Doku looking for some space. He's not going to get any. He gets kicked instead and he'll get a free kick. Here's Rodri. To Bernardo. Charging run coming in there from Khusanov, not used. Here's Rodri. He's got options. Goes to Semenyo. Does well, Semenyo. It's good defending there. Semenyo doesn't do a lot wrong. He did well. Good defending from Williams. Forest get it clear. Really well by Nunes to keep that in. And Rodri will mop that up. Here's Guehi. 6 minutes then for Man City. Here's Rodri. Backs against the wall. Forest just now getting players back. Cross comes in. Corner, Man City. Ait-Nouri's gone off. He did something on the last corner. Bernardo comes over. Surely Man City know where this needs to go. In that 6-yard box, someone to attack it. Scored off our last one. Could really do with scoring off this one. Right, guys, we're 15 likes away from 100. Any help towards that would be great. And do subscribe as well if you are new around here. Set piece. Corner here for Man City. Rodri's in there. Khusanov's in there. Guehi's in there. Cross comes in. Pushing and shoving going on. And it's headed out for a goal kick to Nottingham Forest. Referee says no free kick. It's a goal kick instead. Sells does enough there. I don't think that was the best of balls in from Bernardo, to be honest. It was too loopy. Too much in the air. A bit of wrestling going on in the end. A bit of an ugly set piece, that one. It's going to be a goal kick and Sells goes down and a bit of time wasting for Nottingham Forest as well. All just eats away at the frustrations, really, for Manchester City. They just want to get this resumed and try and do something about it, but they can't do much about it at the minute. Anyway, Sells back on his feet, sends the ball long. City will mop it up. Nunes gets it clear. They want handball. Man City will just continue to whack that clear. Nottingham Forest will get hold of the ball. Should be intercepted by City and is. And here's Donnarumma then. Gives the ball to Rodri. 3.5 minutes plus added time. You fancy there's time for a couple of chances, but the time is running out. City leaving it late. Not where you want to be, but as I've said before, you want to be champions. These are games you've got to win. These are games you've got to win. Here's Semenyo driving forward. No support, so he just has to go back. Cross is coming into the box towards Haaland. He flicks it. Semenyo can't get his foot on it. Not really seeing much of Semenyo here in this second half. Here's Guehi. In fact, we've not created all that much in this second half. Here's Semenyo. Goes across to Semenyo. I think that was meant for Rodri rather than Semenyo, but here we are. Ball gets chipped across to Semenyo once more. Nothing open for him, so we'll give the ball to Rodri. Here's Jeremy Doku. He's got no overlap, so he's just going to have to go backwards here to Rodri. He pings it across to the right. Here's Khusanov. To Bernardo now. Bernardo goes across to Rodri. His shot is down and Haaland's pulled. He wants a pen again. Said he can't believe it. Referee says no penalty. I think he had a stronger claim there in the one on the goalkeeper than he did on that. Again, it's a heavier touch from Haaland. He can't believe it. He says, go and have a look at it. I've been pulled. Comes in. I don't think there's much in that. Not a pen for me. Yeah, play continues. No pen for me, that. Anyway, 2 minutes. Here's Guehi. to Semenyo. Edge of the Forest penalty area now. Cross is coming in. It's low and cleared. Guehi once more. Mops up. Dias. Forest with everyone behind the ball now. It's a big 90 seconds for them. Every point matters. Top and bottom. Good ball from Dias, and that's headed down, and that should be a corner. No, it's giving a goal kick. Ref's giving a goal kick. I need to see that one again. Forest now going to make 2 changes. Going to look to try and shore this up. Nico Williams. Why is he bringing Williams off? And Morgan Gibbs-White has had a real good game for Forest. He's going to come off as well. Dean, thanks for tuning in. Dale, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, it's just not been very good from Man City today. We've not played particularly well. So Williams and Gibbs-White, they're coming off. And the 2 changes for Forest are Morato and Yates that come on. Into the final 30 seconds of the game. Plus whatever's to be added on. You imagine there's probably going to be at least 5 minutes that's going to get added on. So there's time, just not much of it left. I've seen 3 goals, substitutions made, so there'll be time that will get added on. A teeny weeny bit of time wasting. I'll go 5 minutes. Let's see. Ball gets whacked clear as we're going to go into added time now, and it's going to be 7 minutes. 7 minutes then for either of these teams to find a goal to win this game. Forest now got the ball in the corner, flag and get the corner as well off Ruben Dias. Time for them to just eat away at the clock here. Pep looks frustrated, very frustrated. Anderson with a corner. Oh my God, Forest should have won it. It's like Yates with the header. At the near post, Forest should have won the game there. Could Forest come back to regret that one? They should have scored. It's a 3 header at the near post and he puts it wide. That was a chance. Here's Guehi for Man City. Forest have just got everyone back behind the ball again. Still, this build-up play is still really slow from City. Where's the risky passes to try and unlock the defence? Semenyo goes towards the near post. Can't find Semenyo. Forest will get it headed clear, but it's out for a corner. Defending for Forest to do. Arsenal into the first of 7 minutes added on as well. We need to score. The Arsenal game right now, for me, does not matter. This game matters. We've got to score if we want to win the league. We've got to win this game. We've got to find a goal. Bernardo with a corner. Dias is in there. Haaland's in there. Rodri's in there. It's a looping ball again. Anderson heads it clear. Doku just puts another ball to the back post. Headed clear by Aina. Here's Semenyo. Squares it across. And there's so many bodies. Shot and it's wide. City want a corner. They're asking for something. Rodri's gone down now. City surrounding the referee for a penalty. A massive opportunity there for us to have scored. Referee's just telling everyone to back away. Rodri's on the ground. Let's have a look at this one then. So, gets chipped in. Semenyo drives forward. Gives the ball over. Rodri's going to have the effort. Oh, it's a late challenge on Rodri is what they're asking for. He already gets his shot away. Outside of the area, they give free kicks for this. Anderson slides in. He kicks Rodri and fouls him. Thing is, they're not going to give penalties for it. That's the thing. Sells is arguing. Bernardo's arguing. Goal kicks being given. And I think, VAR have said play continues. So that's 2 penalty appeals that have been turned down. The thing is, they don't give penalties for it. Obviously Elliot Anderson comes in, and it's late. The thing is, this is what frustrates me about penalties. Outside the area, Rodri plays his pass, regardless of whether it's heavy or not. A free kick could be given, but inside the area, they won't give penalties for it. Which is where the frustrations is. Someone's talked the way into the book. Is it Bernardo Silva? Or is it Sells? Someone's in the book. I think it's Matt Sells that's gone into the book. Is that time wasting? Descent? I don't know. It's eaten away a lot of the added time, though. It's eaten a good 2 minutes that off added time. City get it back under control. There's still time here. There's still a good 3 minutes of the game left. Plus, you'd think the referee's going to add on at least another 2. You would hope. Bernardo gives the ball to Ruben Dias. Here's Semenyo. It's most likely goals to come on this right-hand side. Here's Semenyo. Gets pulled across. Haaland's gone down in the area. Referee says, get up, play on. City get the ball back again. Forest just inviting pressure onto themselves. Bernardo Silva now. Gives the ball to Rodri. Rodri's going to be bundled over. It's going to be a free kick. Play it quick, play it quick. Do something risky. A quick pass. I just think City have got to, whilst Forest are complaining, put the ball down and pass the ball. City don't know what to do with this one. They're talking, but they don't know what to do. Semenyo's over this, along with Khusanov and Bernardo Silva. Semenyo says, I fancy this. I think this is a bit far out. I'd have preferred for us just to have quickly tapped the ball and passed it and got it back into action again. Bernardo also might fancy this. I think Semenyo's going to have this, though. Semenyo fancies this one. It's far out, this. This will be some effort. It's just over the bar. I think the keeper gets a touch on that. Or has it touched the top of the crossbar? Just over. It's unlucky from Semenyo. It touches something. Does the keeper make a save here? It touches the top of the crossbar is what it touches. So it looked like it hit something. I just weren't sure if it was the keeper's glove or the top of the crossbar. Anyway, a minute left. Obviously, with the time wasting that's been going on, you suspect there's going to be at least another minute or two that's going to be added on top of this. Guehi gets his foot to it. Doku's got the ball. Forest putting the pressure onto City to try and get the ball back. They haven't got the ball back. They're going to have to now sit deep. City are going to come forward. Could be the last attack of the game. We need a goal. We need a goal. Bernardo Silva gives the ball to Guehi. Time's running out. 30 seconds. Cross comes in. It's not very good. It's cleared. It's going to fall to Ruben Dias. And Bernardo Silva, they'll mop it up. Donnarumma, 20 seconds. As I said, referees should allow play to continue because a good 2 minutes or so has been wasted here from that asking of the penalty and the yellow card and the descent and the confrontations that happened. Semenyo nearly gives the ball away. It's 5 seconds then. Right, so we're into referee's discretion now. Here's Guehi. He launches the ball forward. Semenyo's not going to get there. Forest are going to get there. Just boot the ball clear again. Here's Donnarumma. City now. Just got to risk it all. Gives the ball to Ruben Dias. Ball into the box. Looking for Haaland. Headed clear. Only as far as Rodri. He wants options. He's got Nunes as one. Here's Nunes. Gets forward. City get themselves a corner. I think this is going to be the game. I'd throw Big Donna in there. City have gone quick. City have gone quick. Here's Jeremy Doku. City want across, something to come in. Doku's going to get dispossessed. Forest could do with getting this one clear because Doku makes a brilliant challenge. Here's Semenyo. Silly of Forest not to whack that one clear. Surely Nunes is going to go in. He does. Floats towards Haaland. Headed clear. I still think there's another minute or so left of this game. Referee, I think, is agreeing because play's continuing. Ball comes across. Headed clear. Only as far as Doku, there's a pass on here. Bernardo! Can we get it? Can we get it? Scrambled. Shoot. Shoot. It's blocked on the line. It's blocked on the line and there's the full-time whistle. Oh, I don't believe it. That was the chance for Manchester City. That was the chance for Manchester City, and Forest hold on for a massive point. There was the opportunity for Manchester City, and it's a good block from Murillo on the line to save a point for Nottingham Forest, but it's 2 points dropped for Manchester City, and that you would think is going to be so costly heading into the Premier League title running. So costly. Arsenal look like they're going to get the job done against Brighton. They might already have got the job done against Brighton, to be honest. In fact, I think they've already got the job done against Brighton. So City, 7 points behind. We're 5 goal difference behind Arsenal. We've got a game in hand at home against Crystal Palace where a win would send us 4 points behind. Obviously, a win against Arsenal would send us 1 point behind them still, but we're now relying on favours. It's out of Manchester City's hands today, thanks to us dropping points at home against 17th placed Nottingham Forest. City has scored 2 goals today. It should be enough to win the game, and it's not. And Rodri shakes his head. Haaland shakes his head. This is a huge test now for Manchester City ahead of big games to come. Newcastle in the 5th round of the FA Cup at the weekend, away from home. Obviously, West Ham we've got coming up next weekend after that. Away from home, it's not going to be easy. Very difficult now for Manchester City, though. Obviously, 2 matches against Real Madrid, the League Cup coming up as well. Very difficult for City. Very difficult for Manchester City. Right, I will be at the game against Newcastle at the weekend, so I won't be doing a live watch-along, unfortunately, but I will be back with another live watch-along for you guys to enjoy for our match against Real Madrid in the Champions League. I'll have all the reactions for this game coming up over the next hour for you or so for you guys to enjoy. So don't forget, leave a thumbs up. We're just 5 likes away from 100. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Do subscribe as well if you're new around here. It is free to subscribe. Social media links are in the description if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. As I said, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. And get your thoughts in the comments below. And I'll see you all for the reaction in the next hour, next live watch along next week against Real Madrid on Tuesday evening. And of course, I'll have that special match vlog as well for you guys to enjoy for the game against Newcastle, where hopefully we can get back to winning ways and we can, look to try and just get things going once more on our campaign. We remain unbeaten. It's 10 unbeaten, 8 wins in 10. That's the kind of form that will get you right towards the top, but will it win you the Premier League? Well, as I've been saying throughout the stream, you want to win Premier Leagues, you've got to face 17th place Nottingham Forest at home, and you've got to be winning these games. The only thing that I've got as a hope here for Manchester City, obviously now the situation's very clear. It's 9 games to go for City. It's 27 points. We've got to pick up 27 points, and we've got to hope Arsenal drop points somewhere. And the only saving grace I've got is, as others have suggested, Arsenal now celebrating well, as I would have if Arsenal had been dropping points today. I would then go, right, the celebrations are done. This isn't, sorted. You win games and you win Premier Leagues through here. Man City are now at a point of no return. Arsenal now, they start to relax. They'll drop points and then it goes back in Man City's favour and games start to run out. So Arsenal, I'm looking at the fixtures. Everton at home. You'd expect Arsenal to get the business done. Question is, though, they've got a match against Leverkusen sandwiched between that game. Leverkusen end up beating them in Germany. And all of a sudden, Arsenal are tired heading into a game against Everton, where David Moyes is very good at being able to defend things like 0-0s, and they don't really give you that much space. I'm looking at Arsenal's game against Bournemouth. I'm looking towards Arsenal's game against Newcastle, Fulham at home. There's lots of home games coming up for Arsenal, but, and this is very important, There's some big games for Arsenal against teams that are down there. Games against West Ham away could be a relegation day. Game where West Ham need to pick up points against Arsenal. That becomes tricky. Burnley at home could be relegation day for Burnley that day. All of a sudden, a straightforward home game against Burnley. It becomes complicated when you're facing teams that still have so much left to play for. And that could be so crucial in this title race. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And I'm going to go out on a limb here, guys. I'm going to say this. You can clip it if you want. Arsenal deserve to win the title if Man City go on to win our next 9 games. If Arsenal can hold the bottle at City, pick up 27 points, and anything less than 27 points, we're not winning the league. There's no more margin for error. It's got to be 9 wins for Man City now to win this Premier League title as far as I'm concerned. It takes us, to... How many points does that take us to? 27 points. That takes us to 87 points is what it'll take us to. I think that wins. I've said all along, anything north of 84, 85 points wins the league. We can still hit that landmark. We've now got to be mentally strong because we don't play again in the Premier League. We can't put this right until we play again in the Premier League. And that doesn't come for another, 9 days or so when we next face West Ham. So... 10 days? It's difficult. It's so difficult. Obviously, the big result over the weekend, over this midweek, is Man City dropping points. The bottle's just not been there, and we've not made it count, and we need to make it count. That's what we've got to do. That's where we're at with this. That's what we're dealing with. Of course, we'll deal with this all in my match reaction for you guys to enjoy. Who wants to be the 100th like, by the way? Please do leave a thumbs up. Thank you very much to everybody that's interacted with me today. Thank you to everybody that's left their donations and everything. It is much appreciated. And as I said, I'll see you all for the next one. So, I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching, guys. I hope everyone is safe and well. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. And as I said, I'll see you all for my match reaction in the next hour or so as we do hit 100 likes. A good way to end the stream. Very disappointing result. A disappointing performance for Man City. There's no time to be dwelling on this. Games are coming thick and fast, and the meaning of these games just increase game on game. Still plenty to be played for. Man City have dropped points. I reckon Arsenal at some point will drop points in this season as well that's left of it. So it's difficult, and in particular if Arsenal start getting to latter stages of Champions League, player fatigue, lack of concentration, things start to just dwell and things start to come in. So all hope isn't lost. But it does have to be 9 wins from 9 here for Man City to win the league as far as I'm concerned. Any more points dropped, and for me, league is over. And this is why it's important to stay in the other competitions, because you can start to say, well, actually, we're not going to get where we need to get in the Premier League. We're not going to focus on that. You can start focusing on other things instead. So City just they've got to sort it out. They've got to sort it out. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Take it easy. Peace.